Wow! Hello! Welcome to the LSF Podcast. I'm looking directly into the camera for one of the few times in my entire life. I am here, Mr. Curly801, and I am joined above me by...
NoticeTheZ. I didn't know if you were going to say it or if I was going to say it. What's up,
Yeah,
gamers?
do you remember that time last episode when you did that and you went, why didn't you get your name? This is what I felt like.
You know what's crazy? I was gonna be like, "Yo, should Jody do the setup for this one?" Because I think it's been a while since Jody's done it. So actually, yeah, I think we should do it. Jody, take it away. Brilliant, thank you.
One sec. Truthman hasn't done one in a while either. Should we get Truthman through this one?
Wait, who's Truthman?
Friend of the show, Truthmate, who we just did a guest episode with 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, what, we're gonna get Cans and 3 Triendian to do it?
Hey, they've probably been on more episodes at this point.
That's not true.
In the chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they've been there. In spirit.
They're actually in
Spirit, I love that movie.
right now.
But yeah, whoa, the next episode. Lion Eagle's also here.
Whoa, it's me, Lion Eagle. Friend of the show,
Smooth.
part of the show.
So damn smooth.
But yeah, so how we been, gamers?
Been good. It's been so long.
It has been so long.
It
Wow.
has been,
I can't believe we are finally doing an episode with just the three of us.
Hey,
this
is the Hitler episode. No.
For those who wonder where it was, it's here.
Woo! You just didn't know it was here yet. No, it's not. But if anyone heard that, comment down below saying you found it.
No, don't comment that you found it. Comment when you've actually found it.
Oh, I see. NoticeTheZ. He's just made an edit to your podcast document. He just wrote Hitler in bold text, way bigger than everything else. Wow.
Why does it say is a gamer? Oh, wait.
What's right?
I was actually
what the fuck?
Hold on. We need to make it smaller so it all fits on one line.
Okay, yeah.
Well, this is
to all our audio. Hitler Poggies? Let's go.
to all our audio listeners and visual listeners that aren't seeing this.
There we go.
It now says Hitler Poggies on the document.
Did you know Fanta was invented to be drank in Nazi Germany because they didn't want to sell Coke there, so they made a new drink?
Actually, so true.
And speaking of products that are enjoyable to consume, I'm going to try the mystery bar. Wow, what a smooth transition.
What a segue.
All of the best people on LSF, and by that I mean the people who saw the Lost episode, and by that I mean the real Lost episode, will know about our enthusiasm about the mystery chocolate bars with Cadbury's. I think we're the #1 promoting platform for these bars.
And one second, and our friend... What's his name again? One second, let me go on the Cadbury Twitter.
Oh god, this podcast. I just want to say 100% do not go and harass this guy.
One sec, BRB, I need to find it. I literally find him like every time instantly. Oh, there he is. Robbie G15 _.
Robbie G.
So, unironically, do we want to reach out to him and see if he wants to be a guest on the podcast?
Absolutely.
No, I don't.
This random dude. He might be like a serial killer or something.
Oh, well, get him in. Hey, them podcasts.
He actually loves new Liz. Thinks she's great.
Yeah, fucking crazy
that.
He might have some crazy opinions.
So,
might be like that guy from Eagle Owl show.
We'll talk about that later. I'm gonna try bar #1 first. The one that is notoriously being cringe.
Yep.
I don't know what it is. It has such a weird smell. It doesn't taste like... I don't know.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I thought it was just like, like a light vanilla or something.
I kind of get an artificial coconut smell, but the taste, it's like nothing really.
Yeah, that's the problem for me. Is I don't really taste very much with it. But number 2, like such a strong smell, such a strong flavor.
I'm still gonna eat it, but I can't even make a guess of #1 genuinely. It just smells stronger than it tastes. Like, it smells way stronger than it tastes.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't come up with anything for that one.
Oh, number 2 smells gorgeous though.
Number 2's so nice. I was saying to Killer before we started that I got another bar of number 2 because I liked it so much.
It's that you said raspberry ripple, and that's all I can think. That's what I smell, and that's kind of what I taste.
Yeah, to be fair, that was a lot of what Twitter was saying, wasn't it? Was the raspberry ripple or cherry bakewell? That's something that some people said.
Yeah, it's definitely a berry fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna spend the whole podcast eating these 2 bars of chocolate like a fat bastard.
Absolute king shit.
No go. Honestly, number 1 does not smell nice at all. But it doesn't.
Nice.
But it doesn't taste like anything. Number 2 smells nice. Doesn't taste as nice as it smells, but still tastes pretty good. But none of them are as good as a normal dairy milk, in my opinion.
That's also very true. Just even like on texture alone, like you can't beat like the solid block.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what is the texture of the stuff in the middle? Is it like a cream or is it just like an off chocolate?
It's a nothing. Like I literally can't describe it. It's not a cream. Mm-hmm. It's not thick enough to be a cream. Like it doesn't have its own like. Do you know what I'm saying, Lanigo?
Yeah, no, it's like a softer sort of inside sort of thing, isn't it? But it's not like.
So it's softer than the regular chocolate, but not like liquidy like a cream.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's almost as if like.
Just do like a little touch test of it, Curly. Is it like a sort of? I don't know.
It's hard. It's hard. It's not even. It's not sticky either.
Yeah. But it definitely is softer than the chocolate around it.
Yeah, it's really hard to describe what it is that's inside of.
Well, Z won't have to. We're under for too long, so.
Yeah, NoticeTheZ may have some on the way. Well, not on the way, in my house, in a bag.
It'll be on the way by the time you guys watch this.
Hopefully.
Have sent or are in the process of sending a care package over to NoticeTheZ of a bunch of American things for him to try.
American things? Wow.
For British things. Yeah, crazy. The American aisle in Tesco. We bought a bunch of expensive products that are American, then we're sending them back.
Yep.
We don't want
them. We don't want them. Yeah, get out.
Well, no, it's American tries American versions of British foods.
Yeah, Brexit meant Brexit. That's what I'm saying.
Wait. American tries American foods brought from Britain.
Yeah. To see if because a lot of our chemicals and preservatives and stuff are banned in the UK. So even your American versions of things could be different. So I actually think that is a fire video idea.
Or
going to places and trying American food. What's
like
up?
Walker's Crisps, trying them against Lay's.
Well, even you have the America store that has just stuff that is American. I assume that's going to be slightly different.
No, that's just import.
No, they're all pure imports. There's some things they're different. Like our Mountain Dew is different.
If you got Pop-Tarts from from England, they would just be your Pop-Tarts brought over from America.
I think our Oreos are different though, because I think we produce our own Oreos.
So is the import store allowed to bypass regulations like that? I guess you're just aware that it doesn't follow your guys' food guidelines.
I assume they only bring the stuff that they can bring in, but it's normally not worth it because we either have something similar.
Yeah, we can have Pop-Tarts in the restrictions and stuff. Some of the things fall under different jurisdictions, like your cereals oftentimes don't fall under their jurisdiction of cereal.
Mm.
So they get taxed more.
It would be considered like dessert.
Right.
So they get taxed more, so it's not worth them bringing them in.
Yeah, so it's expensive for them to be there, so that's why you have shops that specifically do it, or they'll have a small section aisle thing.
Interesting.
That's why it's not just commonplace, is because sugar tax and also just import fees in general. It's more expensive to put an American product out there rather than one that's made in the UK or somewhere in Europe, at least until recently.
Kind of like the lore behind Jaffa cakes that I included in the thing, the package. Jaffa cakes are not cakes. But legally, no, it's not legally. They are cakes, but they aren't cakes. It's to do with they get put into a different, a bakery baked goods or something.
It's based on the tax. They would be taxed differently depending on whether they were a biscuit or a cake.
Yeah.
And so there was a big debate about what they were, and they were trying to prove that they were
a cake.
They were a cake not a biscuit. And the way they did that was by saying that if you leave a biscuit out for longer, it goes soft. If you leave a Jaffa cake out, it goes hard like a cake.
And this was big news. Big news.
Interesting.
It was actually
It
just
was.
them saving like 4% on tax or some shit.
I think it was actually just. I think a lot of people just found it interesting for like just getting like a determination of what it was going to be.
Yeah, and
This
Jaffa
reminds
cakes are
me of
pog.
like the Ireland Supreme Court ruled that Subway's bread was cake because it's like 12% sugar by weight, so it like
That's,
qualifies as cake.
I believe that's the same everywhere in the UK as well. Like they're not considered sandwiches because it's not considered bread.
That's very funny.
Like we can't call them Subway sandwiches. That's why they're called like subs and specifically called something else.
Makes
I also do
sense.
think it's funny that a place that is like, oh yeah, we're super healthy, fucking 12% sugar by weight on your bread. It's like, well.
Eat a whole fucking loaf of bread. That's good for you. Trust.
Oh yeah, also just having a fucking loaf of bread in general. Yeah. So overall, what would you rate the bars if you had a score of like 1 to 10 or 1 to 100? Because I fucking hate people that are like, oh, rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. They're like 7.5. I was like, that's a 100-point scale, my gamer. You gave it a 75.
Okay, well,
Honestly,
honestly,
like on their own merit as well, rather than like because you were saying like they're not better than a dairy milk, but you can't do much better than a solid dairy milk.
so right for me, I'm gonna actually put context. For me, dairy milk on its own is an 8 out of 10 chocolate bar. Very good.
Okay.
These do not add to the experience at all.
Mm.
If anything, they retract from the experience. I'm gonna say bar number 1 is like a 5, and bar number 2 is a 6.
A 6.
They're not bad, but they're just not better.
Right.
And they're
I
just-
also so fucking American grading scales, right? Like fucking 50% is like failing, which is insane because in general, 5 out of 10, 50% out of 100 is just half. It's neutral. Anything above that would be good. Anything below that would be bad. But because like D's are 60% over here and like 50% is failing, people associate like being a 5 out of 10 with being bad, and it frustrates the shit out of me because it should just be 5 out of 10 is pure neutral.
Do you want to hear something? See, when I went to university, 4 out of 10 was fucking pog.
4 out of 10 was fucking
4 out of 10 is like, you have not failed. You're like, if you get 40%, you're like, let's fucking go. Because you know you don't have to do it again.
I've always had issue with American grading scales. It pisses me off.
Yeah,
if you
like
ever like half assignment and it gets over 40, you're happy with that.
Or they've pitied you. They went, at least he done it. Here you go. I don't want you to reset a whole year because you couldn't be fucked with this one assignment. Have your 40.
Fair. So moving on.
Well, just before, is there a chocolate curly that beats the 8 out of 10? Is there a 10 out of 10 chocolate, or is it something that you've just not experienced?
Maybe I haven't experienced it. I think that's probably the way to put it. For me, maybe a hot take, a 9 out of 10 chocolate, but you can't have it that often, is a Terry's orange.
Terry's chocolate orange?
Mm-hmm.
I'll say that they're not having it very often is like purely you, because they like I swear they like just sell them like all year round now.
No. But for me, that's what makes them good. I only have them every so often because but I think if I ate too many, I'd probably put it down again. But it's the fact that I only have like 2 or 3 a year. When I have one, I'm like, whoa.
I believe that was also one of the you started for Z as well, wasn't it?
It is. As I believe we have those here. I've seen chocolate oranges, but to be fair, as someone who doesn't like orange that much, I haven't had one. So honestly, I might go buy one of ours and then see if it's the same or different.
See,
because I know Truman, he's big on fake orange, and he's going to be with me when I do the British food reviews. So I know he's going to be excited for that. He loves an orange flavoring.
Jaffa cakes is well, it's Jaffa on the inside, like a jelly flavoring.
It's orange, kind of.
Yeah.
What is it?
Or is it that you gave him some fry like sunflower oil?
Yeah, isn't that mad? Yeah, and he's getting the fucking all those tiles in the background as well.
You're just sending me the counter that you're on.
That's on top of my hobs, like my cook, the thing I use to cook food. I don't know how hobs, I guess. I don't know what the fuck you call them.
So, from top of hops to top G's, we're going to be talking about Nathan Stanz.
So true.
Andy Tate?
I feel like it's been a minute since we've done our Stan's news segment. So in theory, there should be a lot to talk about, but also like generally you want to talk about topical shit, and he has nothing topical going on at the moment, other than the fact that he's not streaming.
Let's talk about...
He does have a new editing team.
He does. Lanigle's getting the boot after 10 out of 10 videos.
All right.
This isn't like they're not like outwardly firing you, but they're like hiring new people, giving them more hours. Your hours are slowly rolling back. You're like, wait, guys.
So we've got Deke, Nate, and Danu joining the team.
Yeah, I'll say Nate, friend of the show, actually. He's associated with LSF and Friends.
That's very
He's
true.
done a bit of artwork for me in the past, actually, because when we first talked about... So one of the first content ideas I ever had for streaming was doing like a Sports Center style podcast talking about Task Manager. If we did like a Task Manager season 2, like it would be, we would record it after Task Manager goes up, before the next episode goes up, like predictions for the week, how people did, how we thought Stanz did, and ranking, what we would have given rankings, things like that. Like done like a full like sports podcast about Task Manager. And I had talked to him about making art for that. So shout out Nate. I'm a big fan of adding him to the Stanz team.
Yeah, and then we've got, like I said, we've got Danu, who is an editor for Virtual.
Okay.
So that's hype. And then Deke is an editor for Sinner. So a couple of other editors.
Why does the name sound familiar?
Not sure.
I don't know.
What does Sinner do?
They're a variety gaming streamer.
Every streamer ever.
CINNA.
I meant that was disrespect, but I just don't know who they are.
I didn't know who Sinner was.
I don't know who this person is either. Never mind.
But I saw a tweet from Sinner earlier, actually, where it was her saying stealing Ludwig's editors. And it was just her with Polite and Radstead.
Okay. Actually, so I have realized where I know the name Senna from. So in the Ratchet and Clank speedrunning community, there is a trick called Sita Flips. And it's where like you can like pull out your PDA, I think, or no, it's just like pausing and unpausing while like doing heli jumps over like water. For some reason, you just gain like infinite height. And it's like a really hard trick to do, and they're called Cinna Flips, which is where I'm familiar with the name Cinna. So not this variety gamer at all.
We don't know that.
Yeah. God, imagine not having an encyclopedic knowledge of Ratchet and Clank speedrunning tricks. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I just had to apologize to anyone listening. I've been muting myself on Discord to eat chocolate, forgetting that my audio is still being recorded for the podcast.
Giving us that satisfaction.
God bless. Nice little chocolate eating ASMR for you guys.
So Sinner, creator of the Ratchet and Clank speedrunning community.
Yep.
And
the whole community, not just the one trick.
Not one trick, the entire community. Because without that trick, what is the Ratchet and Clank speedrunning community?
So true. It's like the BLJ of that community, you know.
Exactly. No one would be playing Mario 64 to this day if BLJs didn't exist.
Sure. Yep. Fact.
Yeah, not too much Stanz news.
So he is camping. I did try calling him for the second time yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that today. It was like,
yeah.
You tried calling him, and literally we were talking about like I'm waiting for Stanz to pay me. So if he can, I was gonna be like, if he can answer that call.
That would have been insane if he had just like answered the call, because I believe he's camping right now. So he just answers the Discord call on his phone while camping, so I can read him fanfic that we AI generated about me and him. Would have been fucking insane.
And then you're like, pay Lion Eagle.
It's like, by the way, you should pay Lion Eagle, and then we hang up. Easy.
By the way, Lion Eagle invites you. Yeah, but yeah, not too much in Stanz news. Just it's just been gaming really, and doing the odd video and stuff.
One of the other topics that we have kind of relates to one of the only things that Stanz has been doing, practicing a fuckload of League of Legends.
That's true. Yeah, so how did Stanz end up doing in the OTK tournament?
Actual dog shit.
That's funny because with the last team, didn't he make it to finals? Like in the last OTK League tournament? Smite. That's right.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
he did
Smite.
well in Smite.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And you think he would be better at League since he played League for 50 years.
Yeah, but he's playing top lane. He doesn't. I don't know much about League, but he says he never plays top lane. He always plays mid
Right,
or
is he-
jungle.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've always seen him play Jung when he plays.
Yeah,
But the reason we're talking about the OTK tournament is friend of the show, The Veil, actually won that shit. He was on the team that won.
Yeah.
So what a fucking gamer.
Yeah.
that team. I watch a bit of the Veil and stuff. I just thought that the fact that he's in a team with Fillion, who is like the strangest VTuber out there, which is like clearly he was just filling in for someone. It's just a funny dynamic for a team.
I think it was like the Veil reached out and then like basically was just like on the books of like someone who like is
The sub.
available to join a team, yeah, like as a sub.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were branded as the underdog team because originally it was going to be Team Erob, but then Erob got a 30-day ban, so
Yeah.
they had to
Okay.
replace Team Erob.
I think it was Crazy Slick who like originally put out a tweet saying about any other people or something.
Yeah,
I
because
might be
I
wrong
had
about
seen
that.
Veil
I
in
saw-
people's tweets campaigning to join
Constantly,
teams.
yeah.
Yeah.
People be like, our team is finalized. He's like, guys, I can join. Vote.
Yeah, hey, it worked.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
I
dude,
respect
Veil
it.
is a fucking campaigner. Like he
It really is.
treats Twitter like a fucking full-time job, and I respect the hustle because I absolutely could not.
Yeah,
No, never.
not that I'm saying he is shameless. I just don't have the like confidence or like ability to put myself out there. Like that's mad. Not like they would pick me up or anything, but like I don't have the willpower to do that. So
I wish I was good at something because then I would be down. Like if anyone wants to host a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, dude, I will fucking campaign my ass off in people's replies. But like I'm not good at anything.
OTK like 100-person Mario Kart tournament.
Yeah, fucking rock paper scissors. I think we could get a good go at that.
Back in. When they start playing WoW again, Curly.
When they start playing WoW again, fuck that. Actually, no. The thing is, a lot of people in OTK are good at WoW. I get fucked.
Yeah,
it's not fair. From
Did you think Canute is
Gold would
picking
rinse
up?
me.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. Like the inverse of doing Camp Canute is making Canute play WoW now.
I think that's funny. I like that.
That's really funny.
I
don't know if he's doing regular or classic. I think it's classic because like most of the OTK guys play classic. But
Yeah, classic's kind of popping
Probably
up a bit.
OTK guys.
so
No.
OTK was a slip of the tongue there because the two teams for Shit
Shit Camp.
Camp were
Yeah.
Team
Team
Tent
Tent.
and Team OTK.
Yeah.
And then everyone kept doing OT Gauge in chat, and it was very funny.
That was good. Yeah, fucking fair
Yeah,
play
and
to
then-
Veil.
Yeah, and then after Vale wins the fucking OTK tournament on Friday, Saturday he makes it to the fucking winner semis of the Omega Strikers tournament that Blastoise was hosting. So just a fucking gamer through and through. Got first
Yeah.
place one day and then fourth place immediately, or technically tied for third immediately the next day. So
He also shouted at me on his stream.
You did say that. What's the story there? What happened?
Basically, Stanz went off because he was like got told that they weren't going through.
Yeah.
So then I was like, I'll hop on and see what Veil's doing. And then he was like, they were talking, being like, oh, Stanz's team's on the website. And I was like, hey, he's offline. They're not going through. And he went, and then he was like, oh, we don't know that. And I'm like, I'm like fairly sure, like because someone's clearly told them. And he goes,
Right.
Curly, the website told it still says Stanz, but and I was like, I'm sorry. They're all offline now. Fucking like.
It's not like it's metagaming though, is it? It's not really helpful.
I know. I was just trying to be helpful. I was like, just so you know, like that's not the case. And then I was like, I'm sorry. And then he replied to me in chat because clearly, like, he didn't want to mute up. And I was like, it's okay. I was like, thank you, sir. I'm so sorry. I was just trying to be helpful.
Well, just on the topic of what is Omega Strikers?
So I had literally never heard of the game before, and then I was
Well, I
watching
think it
back
came
Vale's
out.
VOD so I could figure out where he ended up placing because I knew he was doing well in it. The game looks really sick. It's like a MOBA game, but it's also like air hockey kind of. So there's like a puck that's like constantly moving around, and you have like abilities that like let you interact with the puck. You have like a goalie, and then you can also just like kill people on the team.
It's Rocket League of Legends.
Basically, the game actually looks pretty fucking sick. I wouldn't mind picking it up and playing it for a little bit.
Yeah. It looked quite cool. I don't know.
It was fun to watch, even though I had little idea what was going on. I was engrossed while I was watching it.
It's one of those where I don't know how long I'd want to play it for.
Yeah.
I feel like I play like 2 games and I'm like, I'm done.
If it was free, like Fall Guys or something, I'd probably pick it up. You know what I mean?
Oh, is it not? I hadn't even looked.
I don't know. I literally haven't. I've seen it and was like, cool.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure Omega Strikers came out yesterday as well. I think it was like a tournament they were doing to like celebrate the release of the game.
Oh, someone got paid. That's what you mean to promote it.
Yeah, Blastoise is the one who put the invitational together.
Someone got paid. I respect it.
But yeah, so speaking of absolute gamers, Weird Ari, also a friend of the show.
And speaking of Rocket League and League of Legends.
Rocket League of Legends. Hey, guess what? Omega Strikers is in fact free to play. And it's a 3-player game. Fucking LSF Omega Strikers stream when?
Ew.
Never.
Right. Whenever Prop Night comes back. Whenever we play Prop Night again, I'll play
Yeah, I'll say I ain't seen the Omega Strikers meta side.
Well, the Prop Night meta is still going, we told him it.
You were just playing Borderlands 2. That's crazy.
But yeah, no, I want to talk about this last week, last podcast, because it was kind of more relevant. But Ari was on Ludwig's stream doing the like, if you beat me $1,000 pog challenge. I don't know what it was titled, but that seems fairly accurate and could be what it is.
Yeah, I didn't see this. When was this?
It was literally the day after. I posted it somewhere. I'm probably sure, but it was in the Stanz Discord and stuff.
I need to be more active in the Stanz Discord. You guys seem like a fun group of people there.
Sorry.
Alright.
Yeah, no, Ari, it was strange as well. Well, cause I've heard Ari speak before, but it was just weird. Like, just because Ludwig was like, oh, hey, Ari, blah, 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 blah. And just her speaking, and I was like, the fuck? Don't even speak in our calls? I was
gonna say, that's the main thing, is hearing her speak. Because I watched
crazy.
the stream that she did.
That was going to happen.
But yeah, like hearing her talk on Ludwig's stream would be crazy. Well, why did she end up playing against him?
Rocket League. And the first was best of 3. And off the bat, Ari was 4-0 up. And I was like, fucking gamer. And then Ludwig won like 7-5. So that's what Ari was saying. Like, Ludwig came out like baby bitch, and then instantly like just got the flow. Kind of like whenever he did the bro with Stanz, where Stanz was dominating him for like the first game, and then he just got into it. Rocket League is an enigma to me.
How did Ari like get into the position of playing Ludwig though?
I'm assuming it was like, I think she got voted in.
All right.
There was like a vote thing somewhere, and I think they just put all the Stanz people together, and they were like, Ari can do it.
That's
like
awesome.
So because it was like, I think it was like a group of like a whole bunch of people, and if they all won, what happened was you got paid £1,000 if your team won, or if you won individually.
Yeah.
So either way, I got paid out. Fucking gamer.
Ari did get paid out. Yeah, because Ari ended up losing
didn't win,
her
but
game.
paid out.
Yeah. But the rest of the Stanz team ended up clutching. So
yeah,
very
cool.
hog. We're friends with gamers, basically. And now imagine if any of us could do anything fucking worthwhile.
Hey.
Speaking of trying to do things worthwhile, actually, I am gonna start streaming Fortnite finally. Probably. Because we got the new season that's coming out, and I have been like kind of Fortnite affiliated since I started streaming, because I like to use the Fortnite font on everything. My channel points are Z-Bucks. So like Fortnite is like interwoven throughout the channel, but we've literally never played it. So we're gonna have the first Notice the Fortnite stream here coming soon. So hopefully I can pop off on that, and then we can enter Fortnite tournaments and be gamers.
You've been watching too many Zillia streams. That's what the problem is.
It is like, because like Zillia and Psychic and Team Worm and like all of them are playing, and I was like, I want to be included. So
I'm already level 13 in the new battle pass. Just saying.
Well, step your game up. I'm level nothing. I haven't played it in a long time.
Level 0 in every battle pass. Cringe.
Yeah, I need to go download the fucking game. So get on my level, nerds.
This will be.
Kelly also doesn't have the game.
I have it on my Xbox. I played it when it first came out, actually.
Have you played it since No Build?
No, fuck no.
No build's so fire.
Yeah.
No, I
Other
just don't.
people are having good times with no build.
How would I be able to maintain my WoW guild if I was playing Fortnite? I don't have time for that. This is
I would say one of the things that got me
The best part, you
wanting
don't.
to play was during Zillia's subathon. They had a fucking insane game where like Psychic like hard carried and like was like outside of the ring for like basically like 3 straight minutes, just like fishing and fucking like getting potions to stay alive. Ended up getting back in, rebooting the team. The entire team goes down again, and then Psychic won like a fucking 1v3 to clutch the victory royale. It was actually some of the most insane shit I've ever seen in my life. I was like, God damn, this seems fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fortnite's pretty hype, I'll say it.
Yeah. So
We just need to get the LSF team going.
we need a 4th person because isn't Fortnite squads 4?
We also need a 3rd person.
I'll play. I won't be good.
Oh, there we go. Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll play. I just won't be good at it.
Right. So we can recruit Psychic or Teamworm or Zillia, or I think
Yeah,
Beans plays
yeah,
as well.
Zillia.
We'll recruit.
I mean,
Actually-
not any disrespect to the other guys. It's just Zillia seems to like actually know you.
True.
Sorry, one second. Recruiting more
So
chocolate.
speaking of, so I was about to say Zillia's parasocial, and she called us friends. You know who else is fucking parasocial? That fucking Stanz guy. Fucking so. During the Twitch Conathon, we did the AI weird news game that was like widely popular. Fucking the first 0 out of 10 Stanz has ever gotten, just broke all sorts of records for metrics on his channel. Absolutely
you mean the video?
insane.
Yeah, it popped off so hard.
Yeah. And he did a video, and at the start of the video, he was like, my friend and goated Twitch streamer NoticeTheZ. 2 issues with this. 1, we're not friends, Stans. Don't call us Stans. We or don't call us friends. We rarely interact, and when we do, it's mostly awkward. You don't have to lie to these people. And then 2, you can tell he doesn't watch my content because he said I was a goated Twitch streamer. So like, what the fuck?
All right, Death, I get it.
But yeah, no,
Sorry.
I thought that was funny. A little parasocial on Stans' end, I'll say it. Because like I have gone out of my way when people are like, "Oh, hey, like you're friends with Stans, right?" I'm like, "No, not really. Like I don't want to like give people like the wrong impression of like the relationship I have with Stans." And for him to just be like, "Yeah, friend, NoticeTheZ." I was like, "All right."
Okay, guys. Here's the mission for Simon Judah. It's on 15k views right now. We need to get it above 16k views so it goes above celebrities and foreign commercials.
True.
No.
They're both.
I don't want to be the 10 out of 10 video. All right, please.
Yeah, at least 9 out of 10.
No, if you're gonna go make it better, go all the way and make it better than the last Reddit video.
What was the last Reddit video?
20k. Like, don't just beat out the last video, and also go and make celebrities and foreign commercials the same.
Yeah, true. The 2 videos Lion Eagle's done since he's been back in the States were a 9 out of 10 and a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Or I guess technically the way the YouTube metric works, they would both be 10 out of 10s.
Yeah, from when they went out, they'd both be 10 out of 10s. Yeah.
All I'm saying is that thumbnail is bait. The fucking this was made for kids. Ass 15-year-old dancing with crying.
Oh yeah, that one is pure like. Let's trick some people into looking at an ass. But I mean, it's not really clickbait though. That ass and that shaking ass is in the video.
Yeah, it is, but at the same time, bug me.
I will say, I don't know if it particularly matters, but the like, can you spot the fake AI? That's not what the video is. Because like we know it's AI, we just need to find the real headline, and so it's not like we're picking between. Because like the way you have it, it makes it seem like Ludwig's art show, where he had like one real painting, one AI painting, and you had to guess which one was which.
I think
That's
that was
like what the
probably-
title
I
implies.
think that's probably what Cans did on purpose.
Yeah. I think he did.
I think that was entirely on purpose to try and get people to watch it, thinking that Stanz has done the same thing Ludwig did.
It's not going to be. NoticeTheZ is here, and here's a picture, and here's 4.
Well, like obviously, yeah, we're not going to put me in the title. 'Cause, you know,
Imagine the thumbnails just NoticeTheZ. Oh, SEO through the roof.
right? Woo!
Actually, looking at stances.
I mean, to be fair, so NoticeTheZ has actually been in a Stanz thumbnail, so
True. We have my tattoo in week 8 of Task Manager.
yeah, it did not like it for a long time though. It was like,
Well-
this is nudity.
It did think that my leg with Stan's name was nudity.
Yeah, I believe you're the only member of LSF to be in a thumbnail.
Let's go.
Because Cancer's been in it a couple of times with him, like, you know, visiting and stuff.
But yeah, there's literally top 10 women. He's also in that one.
Yeah. Also, yeah. Any exits Gamer Juice.
And the Cabbage one. Lots of defenders in there also.
Fucking okay. So now that I'm thinking about it, the top 10 women. Did he have the queen on there?
I don't know. Hey, that one also got 16k views.
Yes,
So all I'm saying is we need to get above top 10 women. AI art has gone too far. The other one was much better clickbait. Cock and ball and booba.
Sorry, I didn't have any cock and ball weird news stories. I'll try better next time.
That's crazy.
He should have put that like the pig snout penis. That should have been the thumbnail.
I'm actually just scrolling through it. Actually, you know what? I know people joke about this. Stanz needs some new thumbnail faces. Holy shit.
Well, actually, because the argument is you don't want to have a bunch of different faces. You want the same ones because like
Nope.
it builds that sense of familiarity.
No, but they're not. They're the same. Like there's one where it's the same face, but the face has been edited. Like I can't explain it.
I'm a fan of only having like 5 faces and then using them forever.
Oh, there's Connell in one.
Stan changes his face like every so often. Like
Yeah.
he does like some new ones. Like if he has a massive style change or something, then he'll.
True, he do be changing up the hair a lot.
That doesn't generally matter, but it's like if like it's just like every 6 months or something, he'll be like, "Hey, let's switch this up." I guess
We're on
next
season
guess,
6
like,
of
3
Stanz
months.
now.
Yeah.
Do you know what would be an interesting stat that I'd love to see? How many times Ludwig's been in a thumbnail?
Okay, isn't that something we talked about? He's trying to pivot away from using Ludwig as clickbait all the time.
Yeah, but no. I think it's like all of Lud's in the video. Holy shit, get him in the thumbnail.
Yeah. It's it was more
Unrelated
using
stuff.
Ludwig. Yeah, when Ludwig like was in like 30 seconds of the video or something. Moving away from that, but if like the story's all about Ludwig or you know that sort of thing, or if Ludwig is in it, then it's fine.
Okay, there you are. There's his foot. Wow.
Speaking of changes in style, I have gotten a new job lately, and I have now finished my first week at my new job, and it's a fucking just like a comedy movie. I work at a comedy movie basically, so I work at a middle school now, and just like the amount of stories I have gotten in 1 week, 3 of these are from my first day actually. I'm just like, holy fucking shit! How like
The craziest one is that Psychic actually goes to the school.
so true. Yeah, I actually teach S3K Psychic. Yeah, because it feels weird to distinguish now because like we have a regular viewer named Psychic Impala, and so like when I say Psychic, 9 times out of 10 I'm talking about them. But like when other people say Psychic, they're usually referring to like SYKIK S3K Psychic.
Psychic Impala's just got to learn that they're a bit of a humegalol when it comes to the name Psychic. So
Nah, Psychic Impala is actually the goated Psychic. I'll say it.
I'll say
Can
it.
you spot
Psychic
the
Impala was
virgin?
never carried in Fortnite that I've seen. So
Well, Psychic Impala is the one who I was talking about, who did that the crazy fucking Fortnite story.
I thought you meant Psychic is in S3K
No.
Psychic.
No.
Nope.
Yeah,
that's-
so
that's-
fucking
that's-
we're Psychics insane.
Nah,
Fortnite story.
get rid of that. Impala. That's what they're called.
See, we tried that, but I don't know. I don't know. We're workshopping it.
Imp.
We're workshopping someone else's existence. They don't
Yeah.
get a say in how we address them.
Yeah,
Just call them Imp. That's all they get.
if Psych 3K shows up in chat, then we'll think about it.
Don't
Right.
call Psychic Psych 3K.
Psychic Impala is the real Psychic. If you know, you know. But anyway, fucking so a couple of insane work stories. My first interaction I had with any kid ever as an employee of the school district, like like in an official teacher role, I fucking swore, and I was like, God damn it.
Did you say that after you swore? Did you swear and then go, God fucking damn it?
I did not. I fucking so what had happened was, so I work
No
with
wonder. Have you ever said a sentence that didn't have a swear in it?
No.
Just in this story so far, you've tried to tell the story and you haven't made it through one sentence without swearing.
I do swear quite a bit. That's why like flipping the switch has been so hard for me. But So I work with the special ed department, and one of the kids, he was introducing himself to me, and then he was like, "Yeah, I'm named after this cool like ancient Greek historical figure. I don't want to say what the name is." And I was like, "Oh hell yeah, dude!" And then I just like looked down at the ground, and then I looked over at the teacher because I'm a paraprofessional, which is like I'm not like certified to like actually lead the class, but I do enough to like be able to help out and like just like be an extra body in the room, work with kids one-on-one, stuff like that. But as for like overarching lesson plans and like goals that the kids are trying to accomplish, that falls to the teacher. But yeah, so I just like look down and then I look over at the teacher and she's just smiling. I was like, dude, I fucking first interaction.
Wait,
but,
so I'm unsure. So when did you swear at that interaction?
This is America, Laniel. This is America. Hell is a place. It's an HE double hockey stick.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not like the worst swear that I could have said, but it is definitely something that you shouldn't be saying when interacting with seventh graders.
That is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That's what I was expecting you to say.
She went, sheesh, that's fucking buzzing.
I expected the kid to be like, "Oh, my name's this Greek mythological figure," and then you to just go, "Yo, that's fucking sick, dude."
Yeah,
like,
for real, that shit's fucking buzzing, boy.
Yeah. And then so I'm with the SPED department for like 80% of the day, and then for third hour I go to a science classroom, where they have a lot of people. They have what are called IEPs, which are individual education programs, and of like the 31-person class, which is a big class in general, like 13 or 14 of them have IEPs, so they like really need a lot of help in that room. So I'm just like sitting there observing, watching the room, and this kid starts talking about how he wants to call Donald Trump because he's a top G and friend of Andrew Tate. And that he thinks that Donald Trump and Aiden Ross should do a fucking stream together. And I was like, dude, this kid's gonna fucking find me. Like, if anyone's gonna figure out that I stream on Twitch, it's gonna be this fucking kid. He's already on the pulse of Twitch. But thankfully he's a W viewer. So I don't know how much bleed in that will have into like our sphere of Twitch.
Yeah, I think it'll be a long time before that's.
He's gonna find your
right,
emote.
but if anyone's gonna do it, it's gonna be that kid.
He's gonna find and notice the W emote when he's looking around one day.
Nah, it'll be some random kid like who like will be quiet and more reserved who's like watching Twitch already.
He'll be like,
who's
hey, I see the AI quiz.
Who's already watching Ludwig and Atriarch.
Right.
And then
like, so like what I'm afraid
of
is like
the pipeline to Stanz, then you're done for.
There is no like official dress code for the teachers, and so like most of my fucking stuff, not most, but like a lot of the stuff I have is like streamer merch, and I was like, well, I can't wear any of this to school because then that'll out myself. I'm gonna get a TwitchCon lanyard, and I have like my ID badge and stuff. I was like, I can't use that lanyard because then like people will figure me out. So I'm just like,
oh, you so should though. That's so hype. Imagine one of the kids just sees you TwitchCon lanyard.
Mm. I'm on edge about like I said, my biggest fear in life is one of the kids finding out that I stream on Twitch.
One of your kids just pulls up a video of you eating that lettuce.
One of them, they come in and it's like, yo, I seen the podcast with Conal Jonald. I love Conal Jonald.
Imagine we get a new podcast.
Honestly, that's the real strat. I just pimp out my stuff and then like we make the podcast like required viewing.
Yeah. That's what Stan said once. He said that what he really needs to do is just go to like a children's park and just like release a bunch of like cards. Like Twitch, like business cards of his Twitch stream on. The best way to grow.
I like to think he's in the play going, hey, does your mom use Prime? Does your mom have a Prime?
Use Amazon Prime. Did you know?
Did you know she's losing money every minute she doesn't use it? Did you know that?
Did you know your mom's losing money?
Hey, go get your mom's phone. I'll show you how to do it. It's really easy to connect your account up to your Twitch account.
So these stories have been like like fairly tame. Like a kid like watching YouTube and stuff. That's not that weird. Your first student interaction could have gone better.
True.
But I see two other stories on here. Yes. And they go hard.
We may or may not be building up. So The school district I go to, all of the students have a MacBook that they have, and like a lot of their stuff is like through Canvas, and they like work with stuff online. It's easier for like turning things in. It's a little more eco-friendly, and it like helps like cut down on like cost of like books and stuff like that. So it's like it's a kind of a cool thing. But we have a student who is not allowed to have a computer because he was just like up and watching porn in the middle of class. And because of that, we now know that he is into large women. He's just like full on watching fucking BBW porn in the middle of fucking science class. And we're just like, dude, what the fuck?
So I can say I've had a similar experience to this. Yeah? I got a laptop given to me by the school because I'm dyslexic.
Sure.
It may have been...
And you were watching BBW porn in the middle of science class?
No, so what happened was I used that laptop personally as well.
Yeah.
So I was watching porn the night before. I go into school. I forget to close it. I open up the laptop, and I just preloaded Pornhub video. I just instantly closed it. I was like, I guess I'll just write today.
I'll just write.
I'll just use my hands.
Yeah, but what was the vid though?
Yeah, well, I can't remember. Probably right.
You want to talk about your favorite categories?
Yeah, that's the tier list we need to make.
Hey.
The porn categories tier list.
This was the week for it as well.
And then
sorry, go ahead.
the last story. I guess this is technically a little more tame, but one of the things I really struggled with is that like when like your class clowns, you want to not react because it like incentivizes them to continue doing it if they get like positive feedback from it, and it like, you know, just like perpetuates that like what they're doing is okay, which is like not something that I as a teacher should be doing. However, I was fucking observing a family and consumer sciences class, and one of the kids, he was just going around, he'd like talk into the bottom of his phone and be like, what's your name and occupation, and then he just like hand it over to people. And then he did it to one of the kids at the table, and then just like without blinking, this kid was like, yeah, my name's Jason, I do gay porn. And I lost it. I fucking like start laughing, and I like turn my head, and then the kid, he turns and looks at me, he's like, he heard that. And I was like, I didn't hear nothing. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Like, you can't fucking call me out like this. But it's like getting the filter of just like not laughing when kids are actually being funny is something that's like something I need to work on, because like I love comedy. I love laughing. I love talking about things that are funny. And so like when kids have it, I'm like, fuck. Because like the kid who watches the Aiden Ross, he's got like really good fucking comedic timing. Yeah, and like I could tell like if this kid wanted to do content, he would actually be like really funny. And there's like a school podcast that I think I think there's a school pass. They've done at least one episode of it, and I know that he was on it. I was like, damn, I bet he killed. I want to go back and watch it, because I was like, dude, that kid is funny, and I know I'm gonna struggle not laughing when he tells jokes, because he's got everything he needs to be a successful comedian.
We need to get that kid on.
Yeah.
Crossover episode with the
W community.
School that Z works in podcast.
It was called the LSFW poll.
But yeah, so and that's all just my first week, and it wasn't even a full week because I missed Monday. So I'm just I don't know if we're gonna have like a weekly shit that happened at school segment. Honestly, probably shouldn't do that, just because I don't want to like dox too much information about the kids. But this is just like my first week, and like just insane interactions that I've had in only 4 days of working there, and it's
none of that seems like sensitive information or anything.
Right. But like the more we do it, the more like gets revealed.
Yeah, I'd like to think there's someone who's been listening to this podcast, and they're like, that's so funny, but they're like in a different class, and then eventually they're like, wait, I heard about this. Wait, this is my school.
Imagine like you were saying about like the kids realizing. Imagine the kid who was outed for liking big women is already like a Stanz viewer.
That would be fucking insane.
Yeah, he's one of the 40K people that watch that fucking is this really for kids video. Like when it came to what age is the age generally? Z, I know you're saying the thing. Like, what's the age range?
Right. I believe it's like 13 to 15.
Yeah. Okay. That makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
To a degree.
Yeah, like lower end of high school for us.
Yeah. Because like whenever, like, so I don't know how, like, did you do like A levels at school, Lanny, or did you go to tech?
No, I went to a college to do A
Yeah.
level stuff.
See, there's a big like shift in like the attitude between teachers between like GCSEs and A levels, which I don't know what that equivalent is in the States. I literally can't compare it. But like, it's because once you do, I
Go
guess,
ahead,
your
sorry.
high school diploma, I guess. Like, what do you do after that? Like, do you have an option? Do you go to college from there, or what do you
Yeah,
do?
we go to college, but it's what you guys would call uni.
Yeah. So what
Yeah.
we do is once you get, I guess GCSEs are like the equivalent of that in my mind, because they're like the minimum you need to work, which is what I assume a high school diploma is.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah. But then you can stay an extra 2 years in school to do your A levels, which is what you kind of most of the time you need, or you go to college to go to university after that. But once if you do A levels at school, you're not legally required to be there, so the teachers don't really give a fuck. So you get to
Alright.
you get to this point where they're just kind of, not that they don't give a fuck, they will help you or whatever. But if you're like fucking around, they're like, "This is your time, not mine." Like I
Right.
don't
I'll
give
say that's how university is here for sure. Like because you're paying to be there, like the teachers don't give a fuck about like your personal responsibility. Basically, like it's your money that you're wasting.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more hands off. Whereas like
Yeah.
with like the higher end of high school, like your junior and senior year, we try and like treat you more like adults and like get you ready to be like, hey, like this is the last time you're going to be getting help. After this, you're on your own. Things like that.
Mhm. It's just
But yeah, where I interact with kids, they're definitely still kids. They need like a lot of help, a lot of hand holding, a lot of like guidance
Yeah.
on how to act properly.
That's fair.
Yeah.
The only reason I say it is because you're talking about the whole like ignore the class clown kind of thing. But I wouldn't say I was the class clown per se. But I did a lot of nerdy subjects, so by default, if you were even a slightly bit funny, that was your role.
So you were the funny of the unfunny kids. Got it.
Yeah, I did I did maths, economics, and business studies. To be the coolest kid in those classes.
The funny of the unfunny kids like is usually like, the funny one.
Either way, what I used to do,
like the funny one from like the kids who like mess around and stuff, usually just isn't very funny.
yeah. But either way, I'm just trying not to big myself up. All right, I'm not trying to big myself up here. I'm not being too cocky. But what I used to do was my maths teacher, she was like I just had her molded into the palm of my hand at this point. Like if I didn't want to do any work, technically she was like, it's your own hand, you don't need to do it. But like if everyone would really want to have a chill day, I would just talk to her for half an hour about her kids. And we would just sit in
We
class.
had a teacher like that my 7th grade year. She was an English teacher. She was like a long-term sub because our actual teacher like went batshit crazy and left. So we had like a long-term sub. And any day we didn't want to do work, we were like, all right, guys, what do we talk to her about today? And then we could just like get her to fucking talk for like 45 minutes about just absolutely nothing.
This was just me. She had this idea that I would do better if I moved up to the front. But what actually happened was I just talked to her and didn't do any work. And then nobody did anything. And then so I was like, okay, whatever. So I ended up talking about her kids. But I just had this weird interaction with her whenever I worked at McDonald's. Where like I had just came out of school instantly into McDonald's. And she came into McDonald's one day. And it was just this moment where I was like, This is my peak. Serving my maths teacher at McDonald's. Fuck.
And I was like, one substitute teacher that was like that, like because for some like we had like a few substitute teachers that would like.
She was my
consistently
teacher.
sort of come in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like we didn't feel like doing the work, and we had for some reason in our language classes there was like DSs, like Nintendo DSs.
What?
All had like a game that was like language, and like it was like that's the only thing that was like on the DS. So you
Well,
could
like
do, like anything else.
brain train, fucking Spanish.
Yeah, it sounds like some brain age shit.
kind of like that sort of thing, but it was like language based, like you put in like the language or whatever.
Well, it was
but, like,
based.
But me and like my group of friends always brought our DSs in to school. Like, and we always brought it, we always brought in like just anyway, like before we even knew they had DSs.
We're playing Mario Kart, but it's in Spanish. Trust me, it's fine.
No, but Mario Kart DS has a feature where if one person owns the game, up to 8 people can play along without like 7 more people can play along without owning the game. So there was like 3 of us who like would play the game with our game on. And then, including the substitute teacher, we would all play Mario Kart. Because like the substitute teacher liked playing Mario Kart anyway.
Yeah,
She was like quite a young teacher, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I like playing Mario Kart. I like playing it on the Wii and that." And I was like, "Oh, it's pretty much the same on the DS. I'll show you." And then we just split it up. Yeah,
I like everyone turns their
like,
volume on. The fucking principal walks in, and
Yeah.
all he hears is like.
So
What's
that's like
the-
I'm trying to be the cool teacher because like the person who I ride with, who is like the person who got me the job, he was actually he was a math teacher at my high school. He was never my math teacher though, but we were friends because when I was in high school, I'm a cool kid. I started the fucking chess club, and he sponsored the chess club, so like I knew him from that. And then my senior year, I TA'd for him. So like fourth hour, I would just like go to his room and I would like help grade papers, and just like do
TA is
clerical shit.
teacher assistant, not territorial army, correct?
Yes, I no, it's actually both. So I would like help him grade papers, and then also towards the end of the year, we did invade the
Kill
next door
people?
classroom because
Yeah,
they were getting a little too big for their bridges. We're like, all right, we got to shut it down.
Yeah, you hadn't hit your school shooting quota for the year, so you had to make one.
Well, but he sponsors 3 clubs at school. He sponsors the GSA, which is the Gay Straight Alliance. He sponsors the board game club on Tuesdays, and then he has a D&D club on Thursdays. And so like I help out with board game club and D&D club because fuck the gays. No.
Based, yeah.
Based. No, I just Mondays I get picked up early for grub bud stuff. So I can't really help out with that one. But so I emailed the assistant principal who's like responsible for like me getting paid and stuff. And I was like, hey, I know that cause like I'm hourly, whereas like teachers are salary. And when teachers sponsor clubs, they get like a little like stipend added on to their paycheck every month. And I was like, hey, I know that I'm hourly, but like I really am want to help out with this. Is it cool if I like log those hours? And I have always heard like people talk about like how like passive aggressive like email language, like professional stuff. But I didn't like realize like how good it was until I fucking got this email back from the assistant principal. She was like, "Oh my god, that's so great. We love that you want to help out with the kids and you're getting engaged and all this stuff." And then like I forget what her exact wording was, but like basically it was like, "Absolutely fucking not. Why do you think you'd be able to log this for hours, you stupid fucking bitch?" It's like what she said, like super passive aggressively. I was like, all right, fair enough, I guess.
I get it. Like it makes sense.
To be fair, it's 30 extra minutes per day per week, so it ends up being 1 total hour extra a week. Like, come on, I'm not asking for a lot here.
Oh, we'll see if you love it so much, do it for free.
I mean, to be fair, I was doing it for free anyway because my ride home sponsors it. So like, you know.
Well, that's probably what they realized. They were like, he doesn't actually have the control here.
Well, I don't think the principals and stuff know what my ride situation is because like I don't drive and he drives past my house to get to work anyway. So that's like part of the reason why I ended up getting the job. He's like, yeah, I can just pick you up. I was like, Poggies. Because normally I would have to have a job within walking distance, but this allows me to have a job not within walking distance because I can get picked up consistently. So,
yeah. To backtrack a little bit, like I like the group I was in was like it was like me and my one friend in high school, and we were like, I don't know, like we were either like the teachers like 2 are like the best students that like got along well, or we were just a nightmare for them. Like because like for some teachers that just didn't get us or didn't vibe with us, like it was like it like when we like learned, it was like we learn in our way. And our way means that we like talk to each other, and that means we get on and do our work a bit better.
See, my issue was
like...
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I thought you were done.
No, it's all right. You can do your bit.
I say my bit was I always just got shit really easy because of like the TISM / the ADHD, and so like I would get it, and then I'm like, all right, well I'm done, and so then I would just like start talking and like being distracting to others because like I already had all the shit done. So I was literally both at the same time. I was the best student, and I also was the fucking menace.
Yeah. We have a story that was like a bit like that. So like we had like our maths teacher, and we were doing, I think it was like histograms or something in maths, and we like did all of like because it was just like we were given like a page in the book and just go through all the questions, and then once you're done, we'll like move on to something else. And there was us, just like me and my friend were like on our like own table of like 2. And then there was like a table of 6 at the front, which were like the sort of like the teacher's pet table, and they were like all chatting, and then so were we. And then the teacher comes over and is like, "Why are you talking and not getting on with your work?" And we're just like, "We've already done it." And then so rather than just settling for him walking away, we said, "What about your table of goody 2-shoes?" And they were talking and hadn't done a single question, so they all got detentions.
Damn.
So we're like, get absolutely fucking roasted and toasted. And then there was our English teacher who everyone in the class hated, because like they felt like he wasn't like teaching them anything, and like we were just like, nah, he's like so solid, like, and we learned so much from him. And we knew exactly what we had to do for like our coursework and things like that, whereas everyone was complaining that like he'd never told us what to do. So then we had like a tutor, which would be like an overseer of like a certain group of kids in like the year and stuff. So they all told this tutor, like, oh, the English teacher hasn't told us what we need to do. So she like came in and was like sort of like being quite confrontational with our English teacher, being like, none of the kids know what they need to do. So then me and my friend stood up and recited exactly what we needed to do. And we were like, if we could learn it and we're the dipshits, I don't know what these guys' issues are.
Damn.
And then everyone in the room was just giving us daggers, except the English teacher that was just sort of like, hmm?
I had this.
But yeah.
So I was a bit of a waster, I guess is the word I'll use. I would do anything to do nothing. So I had this English teacher in third year, so my third year in secondary school, who was just inept. Just like dozy. The only thing he ever taught me was how to spell the word onomatopoeia, and that was it. Because he did a stupid voice, and it's sort of stuck in my head. Probably couldn't do it right now, but at the time I could. So he used to get us every week just to write something. That was it. To write a story. That was our homework for every week, was to write a story. I never wrote one once. Ever. He didn't realize that he had never got one from me until the end of the year, when he went, I can't give you a grade because I don't think I've received any of your work. And I went, I handed it in. And he went, I don't have it. And he just went, I don't have anything down. I was like, that sounds like a you problem.
You just gaslit, gatekeeped, and girl bossed your teacher.
And he went, okay, can you just like write me one thing and I'll give you a grade based on that. So I went a whole year of doing no work just to do one bit of work.
That's amazing.
And I also did this whenever I was doing my GCSE history coursework. Was it a coursework? It was something really important. I forgot to do it, or forgot to like do it correctly. So what I did was I handed in a homework from a different class that I had already had marked. And she checked all the papers, checked all the names, went, oh, everyone's here. And then I came back in next week for the class. She went, Cameron, oh, I didn't get yours. And I went, oh, what? I'd done it now, obviously. And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, I think you might have given me the wrong stuff. I was like, oh, what? No way. No way. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry about that. I should have checked. I just think I was able to gaslight everyone. Maybe I was just an asshole.
Really notorious abuser.
Yeah. So I changed, I swear. But no, I was able to, because the school I went to was quite pretentious, I guess. I had that impression, at least. The people that went there were not pretentious, but it had this like grammar school like appeal to it. I think the teachers thought the best of the students, and if you sort of gaslit them enough, they'd be like, oh, shit, I fucked up. They're like, yeah, you did. I also gaslit an HE teacher, like home and economics, which I guess is just cooking, that I did coursework as well. And it was about making a balanced meal for an old granny. And I just handed in the cover for it. Didn't hand in anything else. Just the cover page. And I was like, there's the cover page. And she went, yeah, but I can't find the rest of it. And I was like, I can print it out again, but I'm not going to be able to print it until I get home. She's like, okay, hand it in tomorrow. And I was like,
that's so funny. You're right. You were a menace.
That was a shit. Yeah. I just did anything I could to do no work.
I remember the only time we had like a writing assignment that was like the one where you were like write a story was we were like doing like a class read of To Kill a Mockingbird, and then they were like write the next chapter, and then I was just like, fuck this, To Kill a Mockingbird's such like a bleak like morbid story, and I'm not about that life. So then I just turned it into a Transformers fanfic.
Hell yeah.
So I actually don't know anything about To Kill. Is it a trial? Is that what it is? Like.
Basically, a black man gets wrongly accused because he's black, and
a
white lawyer takes him on. He's like, "No, I believe this man is innocent." And everyone's like, "What? You're going to defend a black man? That's
but
crazy."
He's black." Yeah. Okay, so like every movie about racism ever, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, except it was kind of like before a lot of that stuff.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah,
it was like,
yeah. The book came out in the
first.
50s when it was like
Yeah.
hyper relevant.
Okay, so this was like the first one. This is the genre definer.
Pretty much.
Racist media.
Yeah, hey, I'll say it. Racism bad.
So true.
let me write a book about it. Do you ever? I know this sounds so bad. You just go back in time and just have all these hot takes and just be known in history. It's like, hey, this guy in the 1800s said slaves were not cool. Whoa!
And one of the things that helped is that the book was written by a white woman, and so like it's white people talking about white people helping black people, and so everyone was like, "Damn, that's just crazy for the time."
Yeah. Also, in hindsight, it's kind of like a white woman writing how white people are good to black people in a time where they really weren't.
Yeah.
Well,
one sec. What was her name? Let me look into her.
Harper Lee is the author. If you want to look her up.
She wrote a story about an imaginary white man who helped a black person.
This is where I just want to read. It's like controversies at the bottom of the Wikipedia page. One sec, let me see.
Is there actually Harper Lee controversies? Not like this. Not like this.
It's sort of like double standard sort of like idea of conversation. It reminds me of when I said that Roots was racist because they made the white people like act so evil. Like I understand someone hearing that sentence might sound like my statement makes no sense, but then I like backed it up. I was like, no, I'm not saying that slavery isn't evil. I'm saying they weren't like they weren't also like evil scummy people being like like while they were doing it. They were just like normal people, and that's why it's even more disgusting. It's because they didn't see themselves or come across as bad guys. It's like this choice.
Okay, you saved it there at the very end. I was like, damn, I don't know if I can get on board with this. And then you brought it home at the end. I was like, all right.
People like cartoonishly evil takes away from the actual evil of what they were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's how they get it around the.
And then also
the publishers. I guess that was kind of their way of getting around. They'd be like,
also like a white guy who like doesn't agree with slavery, and he's like the main character, and it's like, what the fuck? It's like this. It's like, yeah, slavery's bad, but this so's this.
Yeah, it's not like an accurate representation of what went on.
Yeah, it's like everyone should have been like, yeah, this is cool.
We read of Mice and Men, and that was kind of pog. So,
I love
Mice and Men
I
was
love
kind of
that
pog.
one word, Mice and Men. It's great.
Yeah, my favorite bit was whenever Curly was like Vaselining up his hand so that he could pleasure his wife better. That was pretty pog.
So, have you based your entire online persona off of Curly from Mice and Men?
Yeah, I have actually.
Hell
yeah. Just Mice and Men's always so funny. I keep seeing like TikToks and like videos and stuff of it, like where it's like the read aloud in class, and it's like when you're the kid who gets that line. It's like the one time it says the N-word in the Mice and Men. It's like it's your turn.
I think so. I used to, because I had curly hair. I actually did Curly's like. We used to read it out, and it was an experience. He was just an asshole. It was just not nice.
Yeah.
But like
my
English teacher was like this small little lady who was probably in her 50s. It was very lovely, but like very wholesome teacher. And what one of the guys in my class did was to make her very uncomfortable was to just ask questions about everything. Be like, what's the glove of Vaseline for? Why do you have that? What does that mean? What does that bring to the story?
What do you think the author meant when he said glove of Vaseline?
I had completely forgotten that was a part of the story, and then I've in seconds pieced together, oh yeah, this is that. Oh god, this is what that was for. I did never piece that together while I was in high school.
Yeah, no, neither did I. I was a bit older. but like
that
he
kid was on the pulse. That kid knew.
Yeah, but he would just do everything he could to make it so awkward for her. And it was also like in first year. We were doing sex ed, the birds and the bees and what have you. And one guy asked our science teacher, "Why do people hump?"
So humping, what's that about?
Wait. So because she didn't
first year of like secondary school.
Yeah, so like 11, 12, 13.
So like I assume Northern Ireland's the same. Like you do sex ed in like
P7,
like later in primary school as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they clearly weren't paying attention in that
No,
class then.
no, it's because what she was explaining. She was explaining that I remember it to this day. It was the worst explanation ever. She explained what wet dreams were and explained what sex was, and she gave the impression that you just soaked until you came. Like that was the impression. So he was like, yeah, where's the humping coming?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
he was.
She explained that like sex, but instead of saying what sex was, just said that it's like a penis coming in a vagina.
Yeah, basically. But like, she just gave the impression that you just put it in there and then it happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah, could you imagine if that's how it was, and then like everyone was just like okay with that? That would be
Just
like,
wait. I'm gonna go to sleep. Just wait. But because she didn't explain that, he was like, "Yo, what worse? Like, what's the deal with this humping malarkey?" You know what I mean? And she didn't answer the question. One of the other students called her a virgin. Then she cried and left.
oh my god,
Yeah.
that's brutal.
But we were like 12 at the time, and we were like, "Lol."
That's also kind of crazy. Imagine if you were a teacher that was a virgin and you had to teach sex and you've never done it.
Or she was a bit of a strange person. It wouldn't surprise me if she was like really religious and like genuinely didn't want to teach it. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And clearly got upset by the whole like asking shit and was just like, fuck this about. Then we watched a woman give birth.
Damn.
It was one of the other students.
And then another guy watched porn in the back of the room. So, you know, it is what it is. The real sex ed. That wasn't me. There was one kid who was just upset. His name was... He really liked big women. It was really weird.
His name was Robbie G.
Yeah. He's 29.
Speaking of being a menace in class, let us see how various classes would be at different jobs. Goddamn. How does he do it?
This is the tier list this week.
How in depth did you guys go? Like could we tell what job you chosen from just like the tiers?
Fuck it. Let's find out. So this one is mine. What do you think job I have ranked these people on?
Let me just.
What jobs do we believe that a bard, a blood hunter, and a wizard would be good at?
Goated, screwed, and promoted to manager.
But so I'm not super familiar. Like, I'll say it, I'm not super familiar with how every class works in D&D. As I've said, I play cleric, and that is it. I've read the other classes. It's just not my vibe.
Okay, so bards do magic with music essentially. Wizards are just, you know,
I understand that, but the problem I have is like the difference between like wizards and fucking like other. I feel like there's like 40 different magic classes that just do the same thing.
So wizards learn magic through like books.
Yeah, because they're fucking nerds, and sorcerers they just got that dog in them.
Sorcerers just know. Yeah,
because their like dad was good at magic or some shit.
And then
no, it's like they have like some. It's often like they had like mystical parents or whatever. So like it's like innately in their blood.
That's what I said. So the dad was good at it or some shit.
Well, it's not like dad was a wizard who like studied magic and then he gives birth to a magic kid. It's not like that. Is the distinction I was trying to make.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like dad had innate magic, so then kid has innate magic.
Okay.
Or sometimes it's like no one in family had innate magic, but a pact was made with a devil a million years ago, some shit like that. Sometimes, even though that kind of bleeds into warlock, which is
I would say warlocks get their magic from like a host or some shit.
Yeah, but then also can lead into sorcerers to some extent. Like there's the draconic sorcerer, which it says can be like either like some sort of bloodline inheritance, or can be made from some sort of magical deal, and a dragon bestowed it to a lineage. And it's like,
and then
how the fuck is that not a warlock?
Obviously, paladins and clerics get their magic from God.
Yeah.
Rangers and druids, they get their magic from nature.
In like older editions, they don't necessarily get it from.
I get mine from the Queen.
But
so true. Yeah. So literally in Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide, that basically is like the paladin subclass that they introduced. Is I get my magic from the Queen.
Yeah, it makes sense. I guess if they have like a holy monarch or some shit, like that's a thing in these kind of.
Yeah, so basically a paladin is like so strongly connected to their oath, which is just like the rules they follow.
Yeah.
That gives them power.
They're just such a Such a good
Ivy.
/
A lot of
bad
people
boy.
just give them like a god to follow because it makes lots more sense that they can do radiant like god magic from following a god rather than because they follow the rules.
Yeah,
Mm.
in World of Warcraft, this is not just paladins. Paladins get their magic from like these like light gods, but only certain classes can do it because they worship that god, or certain races can do it because they worship that god so much. But what
Right.
happened was the Blood Elves, they captured one of the gods and just forcefully sucked the magic out. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
respect.
So what I'm hearing is Blood Elf Paladins are actually fucking gamers.
That's what I play. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Then next to those two is Artificer, which is basically like a scientist man.
Mm. Like a lot of
So-
it is like flavored that
You
like it's not them casting a spell as much as it is like they have like magic items that do the magic for
yeah,
them.
it's,
Okay.
they're kind of like a wizard, I guess, in terms of the thing, because they're not inherently magical, but
Mm.
they like can do like stuff with like magic items and science and like, but also can still cast spells because they get like wands and stuff.
Yeah.
They're a little bit weird to be honest, Artificers.
Yeah.
But they'd be too weird to also be like a wizard subclass as well. There'd be too much there. Then
And
fighters,
then-
just like general, like
Yeah.
can be any sort of fighter. Like they can be like use any.
Yeah,
sort of
that's
weapon.
pretty self-explanatory. A lot of the melee classes are pretty self-explanatory. Monk is just fucking Kung Fu Panda, like fucking,
Yeah.
or like
Yeah, there's monk, which is just like basically like kung fu fighting,
yeah,
or Super Saiyan if you choose that one.
yeah, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure class. Yeah,
Yeah, there is also a JoJo's ish one. Then you've got Ranger, who is like,
oh boy.
yeah, but not.
And they also get
necessarily.
like some nature magic, which is cool.
Yeah, like a little bit of nature magic, but mostly like melee. Like a lot of their stuff is like having like a favored like enemy and stuff like that,
Yeah,
or like picking an enemy and being like, you die now.
Yeah, so
So
it's funny. I'm doing a Ranger Warlock multi-class right now, and I don't even have Hunter's Mark because Hex is just better. But it's like essentially the same thing.
yeah, Hex unfortunately is still a little bit of a trap, but
All right, it's a free D6, and with my party specifically, we have rogues that can do a deception check to make it to where everyone has advantage on them. And if I hex them targeting their wisdom, they have disadvantage on that save of getting the advantage on them. So it
Okay.
ends up being
that
good with my
changes
party.
the maths a little bit. But a lot of the time, it's like different spells are generally just better. But D&D's not necessarily a game about doing the best damage output. If you want to do a character that hexes, that's kind of the fun of it. And then you've got Barbarian, who just big swinging axe gets mad. Druids, who also technically get their magic from divine sources because it's like the nature gods and stuff.
I always wanted to
it's
play
like-
a druid, but then I was like, fucking, I don't want to have like 600 fucking pages because I have to turn it into a fucking bear or turn it into a fucking.
Yeah,
don't
druids
need-
are annoying having to have all
Yeah.
your stat blocks ready to go.
You don't need 600 pages. You just need that one with the bear on it.
No, true. 9 times out of 10, you're going to be a bear.
Yeah, and then there's the rogue who sneak attacks because
Diggy
he gets
boy.
into a fight with two people versus one.
Yeah. So that being said, based off of these rankings, what job do you think I have ranked these people on?
So the Amazon warehouse worker.
Ooh, that's a
Me
good shout.
Big fan of Amazon.
What? So all right. So you're a big fan of it. OnlyFans workers.
Yep.
The board I can see the creativity there.
I think the artificer would have like an automatic dildo. Sorry, is this actually what your like breakdown is?
No. So the breakdown is
what?
actually how they would be as McDonald's employees.
Oh, quite close with Amazon though.
Yeah.
Like a big corporation that doesn't care about its workers.
Yeah.
So Bard, obviously, a lot of like management is like being customer facing, and so being able to like interact with customers, talk to them, make them feel good about themselves, definitely a Bard thing. Blood hunters, man, if blood hunters are known for like inflicting like a lot of like self pain and like being able to like go through anything, like coming out fine. If that's not working in retail, I don't fucking know what is. So blood hunters definitely get the dub for
So true.
working with just like the worst people on earth. And then wizards, an intelligence-based class, and they have magic, so that way they can like speed things up a little bit. I think that like their use of magic to like help make things like more efficient and more streamlined is definitely something that would get like recognized, and you would probably see wizards like in a more corporate job. That being said, you were like, oh, why isn't it the same for the artificer? I feel like artificers are like a little more mischievous, and they are relying a little too heavily on automation and like, which I guess is like what corporate would like, but like they're out here like trying to like replace people's jobs with machines, and I'm not here for that.
Well, you're not here for that, but McDonald's literally is here for that. Like the McDonald's near me has a automatic drink pour, so your drink, like when it comes up on the screen, it'll automatically pour out like a large Coke.
Yeah. The one that my sister works at has that.
I was like, a lot of ours, we have kiosks, like you don't even order with the person anymore. You just order on a screen. Yeah.
That's same here.
Yeah. Paladins, just hardworking, devoted. That's really it. Like they're gonna be here, they're gonna be on time. They're gonna do well.
I'm fairly sure they get purified food and water, so
True. McDonald's
the food would disappear if they did that.
And then monks, they're speedy, they're quick, but I feel like they're like not the most like competent and like a little clumsy. So like a couple of mistakes would happen. But man, if they're not fucking zip zooming around the kitchen, doing whatever they need to be doing.
Are they not notoriously unclumsy?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm pretty sure monks are notoriously unclumsy.
No, it's the drunken master subclass.
No, right, okay. So
but my thing is just like, if they're out here fucking moving at like 45 movement speed where everyone else is moving at fucking 30, they're just like, they're trying too hard and like getting in other people's way, trying to like be the one who does everything.
Yeah.
That's where I'm coming at it from. Like they definitely still help, but they're like not as like goated as they could be.
Also, they're gonna be dodging, and they're gonna run out of key points, and then it's not gonna be good for anyone.
A fighter. Fighters, I have them as indifferent because they're the people they literally just show up. They'll do their work to get their paycheck, but they're not going to go like above and beyond. It's just like a very middle of the road. They're here what they're paid to do.
They're in my head, they would be the burger flippers. They're the guys in the kitchen just making the Big Macs.
I'll tell you what, what's good about fighters though, they do get that second wind halfway through the day. So
very true.
Yeah, after they've inhaled 6 ounces of fucking Big Mac sauce, they can keep going.
Warlocks, I have them as like they're at indifferent because they're both very good and very bad. Like if making deals with devils isn't like just McDonald's in a nutshell, I don't know what is.
Yeah, every employee is a warlock of the Ronald McDonald.
The Ronald patron.
My patron is Grimace.
Pact of the burger. But I don't, and like I just feel like they like kind of like bring like a vibe that like corporate might not want, because like McDonald's, like being corporate, they like don't want to overly heavily associate with like religion and things like that.
The cult, yeah.
And that's similar reasons why clerics are docked. And I also feel like clerics, they just like realize that the evil that they're doing by working in a McDonald's, so they're like, they kind of like bring the vibes down, and also just like being like overly preachy, and like they're the fucking people who would like put like a little pamphlet with your order and be like, oh, you should come to our church, like shit like that. You just get like really annoyed at it.
I'd like to think that whenever someone orders something, they'll tell them how many calories are in it. No, they should probably get something else.
Yeah, I'm sorry to anyone who does this, but if I ever receive a pamphlet of like telling me to like go to someone's church from a McDonald's employee, I'm telling their manager. They're getting fired.
I also want to say, NoticeTheZ has besmirched the McDonald's. If you work at McDonald's, it's not a problem. Well, hey, someone does it. Someone has to.
Well, no, like I said, while I don't like Amazon, the company, I have nothing against Amazon employees because you're just trying to get a job. People do what you need to do. Yeah. Don't wrong. I don't.
McDonald's workers unless you're my sister. Fuck you, bitch.
Yeah, I used to work at McDonald's. I'm here to rep the boys. Squad. 200 years.
Right. Who else we got? We got Rangers. So Rangers, I have them similar to Druid.
Bring their pets to work.
Yeah, well, it's not even bring your pets to work. It's just like being annoyed with like the meat and like how like highly processed everything is. It's just like not very natural, not very like it kind of like throws off the vibe of what they're trying to go for, like being like animal rights activists and things like that.
They keep giving like the vegan option alternative.
Yeah, I was like, the reason I have druids down below Rangers is because druids, they're like, oh, I can't even like wear things that like have metal in them, and so being in like this highly automated, highly processed, just absolute fucking disgusting use of like animal meat. Fucking druids just not about it. They would have a bad fucking time.
They also have to legally wash to work there.
Yeah. Whereas rangers, they struggle with a lot of that, but it's just like to a less extreme degree.
Yeah.
Sorcerers, like, because they're charisma based casters, like anytime anyone has like high charisma, I always just see them as like kind of like a jokester, a prankster. And so I feel like they're just like need to fuck with people would keep them from excelling.
Also, you know, if they're a wild magic sorcerer, they could just end up turning into a houseplant for a good time. So
True. Sneezing, fucking now your Big Mac has like extra shit on it.
Coming
now
in,
your
yeah.
Big Mac is
No, it's a Whopper. It burns in the cold of McDay's.
your Big Mac is Wendy's burger. Yes.
And then barbarians obviously rage. They would argue with the stupid fucking customers.
Yeah.
Because like McDonald's and like Walmart have to be like top 2 worst fucking customers to have to deal with.
Mm.
And so barbarians just could not handle that. And then rogues, like, how do you keep a rogue from just like stealing from the corporation? Yeah, because like rogues, in my mind, rogues are like usually fairly good guys. They're like the Robin Hood types. We're going to steal from the rich, give to the poor. If we're not stealing from McDonald's, who are we stealing from? So like rogues,
like,
you just
they
can't
would
trust
absolutely get fired, but they're my favorite McDonald's worker so far.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're giving you
the one that steals from the tills of McDonald's is my favorite McDonald's.
Yeah, they're the one that gives you the 20p sweet chili dip without charging you the 20p. The guys.
So true. They are the real kings. The ones who just throw some dip at you.
Yeah.
Yes, the rogues are the people's champ, but corporate doesn't like them.
Yeah, I like the idea that rogues, these like sneaky or like thieves, like the only like alternative, rather than like going to the extent of them stealing from the tills, is literally them throwing some dip at you. That's a real McDonald's worker equivalent.
Yeah, two swigs of the dip on your McFlurry, and then like the topping.
Sometimes we have some like different opinions in these tier lists. I'd say this is pretty solid for the McDonald's workers.
Thank you.
This is my one.
This is Curly's. Hold on, let us try and guess it first.
It
Oh wait, never mind.
Well,
Damn. Well, so
it's been a part streamer.
So is this how they would be if they worked at Dunkin' Donuts?
Yeah. It's just if they worked at Dunkin' Donuts, yeah, or Tim Hortons. It's Timmy Hortons.
Yeah, Tim Hortons. That's it. I was trying to think of just another national coffee chain.
It's if they were part of Twitch streamer Afghans.
Yes, if they were if this is the Afghans tier list of classes in D&D. I don't know, like, what was the name of this class at the top? The one that uses all the fucking gizmos and shit. In my head,
Artificer.
Yeah, in my head, they're just making like the funkiest fucking coffee in the world. They're like fucking pulling out all these magic gizmos and like you're getting a coffee that's gonna make you fucking shit rainbows. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know what my logic was with
having Warlock that high.
With Warlock that high, I kind of.
It seems a bit odd. I'll be honest.
I think the logic was the whole like, because I was reading it just to make sure I understood the class, and I was like, they have like a patron kind of thing in my head. They're not actually good at making coffee, but they like. It's kind of like Cult of the Lamb, right? They sort of like get you in, you drink the coffee, you're all of a sudden you're onto this guy too, and you're like, holy shit, that was the best coffee I ever had. They just like spread their like, not religion, but like cultiness. Let's just pretend they're all cultists. I know they're not, but in my head that's what I was getting, cult energy. They just all of a sudden you've joined a cult by getting coffee.
It's not a cult.
yeah. Then the next.
It's a cult.
But below that, I know I've put like I keep wanting to say rogue. Is it rogue?
Rogue is the knife that you have in the first row of.
Yeah. That's I was like, yeah. I'm just saying, I keep thinking of World of Warcraft classes and can't remember if they're the same. In my head, I don't know why. I just think they'd make a good coffee. I can't explain it. I just think they'd have the dexterity to make like the nice like latte art. You know what I mean?
Fair.
You feel that? Baristas, the coffee would be fucking dog, or not baristas, bard, sorry. The coffee would be dog shit, but you get a show.
Yeah.
So you'd be like, oh fuck, that's pog.
I also think going back with rogues again, you get like the people's champ, where like they like you get like a little when you make
caramel in
a
there. We
vanilla
swig of
latte, you're only
caramel.
supposed to get like 3 pumps, but they'll put that 4th pump in there for you. They got you.
They'll sort you out. You're getting sorted. They got the finesse. They'll be good. Again, one of the multiple magic users, both of them, let's just wrap them into both. They're making you not shit rainbows. They're making you like fucking breathe fireballs and shit. In my head, you're drinking this. I know it's not a potion. They don't make potions, but in my head, they're somehow imbuing it with magic that you're getting some. You're under the impression that you've got a nice coffee, but you're actually drinking like fucking piss in a cup with foam on it. But it's been like enchanted somehow that you're like, hey, oh, coffee. The next ones, for some reason, I really wanted to put Druid higher because in my head they would have a way of the bean. You know what I mean? Like they would have a connection with the bean, and they'd be able to bring
I'm surprised you put Druid all the way down to the bottom because
I thought about it, but then I also thought about how if they're that close in nature, they're probably fucking disgusting and all that crap. In my head,
no, Druids are the ones they like grow the coffee that they like feed to goats, and the goats shit it out, and then you get the beans out of the goat shit. Yeah, that's exactly what Druids are doing. And if I've learned anything from reading reviews, that is like S+ tier coffee.
Yeah, but in my head, they're disgusting.
The S does not stand for Starbucks in
this. The rest, I have no real opinion on, bar the like. What the?
Oh, I guess that could be the angle we go with. They're so pretentious that like when they're working at Starbucks, they're just talking about how like Starbucks coffee is shit and you could be getting better coffee elsewhere.
Yeah.
And it's just like really annoying to talk to them about it.
Yeah, all these classes
doing the same thing, like the rage.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, and I literally like this fucking made up class that I'd never heard of that I had to scroll down on the thing and I was like, I'm not reading that shit.
I read the intro for Blood Hunter and I was like, all right, sounds good.
Yeah, I was like,
also,
I've never read a Blood Hunter class.
So it sounds like a class from Dragon Age. Like if there isn't a Blood Hunter Dragon Age, then I don't know. I don't know where they got it from.
Yeah,
it is basically the Dragon Age Blood Mage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
I heard it wasn't official, so I was like, "Fuck this! I'm not putting it in there because then I have to really learn all of the intricacies of it."
But I have no strong. It was only the ones I had like a positive opinion of that I thought about too hard. But when I look back at the Druid one, maybe the Druid could be put up into the S tier.
I quite like your positioning of it, to be honest.
Yeah, I like the positioning. They're too pretentious for Starbucks, and so they're F tier. I like that.
Other than that, all these are just like fighter boys, and they just don't really give a fuck about coffee. They're just too like. They're just like combat based classes. They ain't got any finesse. You know what I mean?
They are based.
That's my opinion. And yeah, that's it. That's me. I'll move on to Land Eagles then.
Right.
Can
we zoom in a little bit? I can't read what the tiers are.
We'll look at the bottom one so we can just get rid of that. The one says, "Get your damn homebrew off this list, Matt Mercer."
Alright, so we got wouldn't last the week, would slowly fall, would sell enough to survive, would make a decent. Oh, is this if they were drug dealers?
Nope.
Would have people queuing around the block, would make a decent profit, would sell enough to survive, would slowly fail. Wouldn't last a week. Chicken shop?
Oh, that's quite close. I was imagining this is what they would do if they had a hot dog stand.
Oh, I was pretty close. That
is very close. It's closer than drug dealer.
A small chicken shop's kind of the British equivalent to a hot dog stand in a city.
Yeah. I also think if they have people queuing around the block, their drug dealing operation is not going well. It's very obvious what they're doing.
It's also going really well and terribly at the same time.
Yeah, you're not very subtle.
So I think, so we're kind of doing like a similar thing with like McDonald's, but this is like, self-made. So like you also are the corporate. So so at FISA they can, automate the systems, make it so everything goes ahead. They've also got magic, pretty much perfect for starting their own little business with the hot dog cart.
Can I say
by
that logic though? I don't think they would have people queuing around the block. I think it'd be so efficient that it would be out. It'd be out. You know what I mean? I know this is just I'm just being pernickety, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Okay. The would have people queuing around the block tier is essentially just saying
business is booming, Curly.
Yeah, business is booming. Then bad, they just beguile you and bring you in there. You've got Paladin and Cleric. This is again the purify food and water.
Exactly. They really tap into the kosher market.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then the ranger, they bring they bring their own food to serve.
Yeah, their costs are low because they hunt their own food. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I like that you brought in like this removes the corporate element because that does move druid and ranger up because they can like kill and source their own food and it's like much more ethical and something they'd be more okay with as opposed to fucking McDonald's.
Yeah. So then would make a decent profit. I basically just put these guys in there because again they're like the casters, so they could like speed up operations with magic, but just not quite to the extra effect that the others could.
Dude, in my head, sorcerers, it's like in Minecraft, like if you kill a cow with like fire, it comes out pre-cooked. That's
Yeah.
exactly what the sorcerer's doing. Just fucking like firebolting cows and pigs and stuff to get meat for sausages. So it comes out pre-cooked.
That's so true. And then fighter, I think everyone kind of just put it in the middle.
Yeah.
Because they're just dudes really.
They just do what they're paid to do.
Yeah. Would fail slowly. I put the monk just because I don't know. I guess I also like Z had this like vision of like the monk just being too fast for his own good.
Well, like forget to put the sauce on or like the sauce wasn't on the dog. It was like just splashed all over. It was just clumsy.
Yeah, and then wouldn't last a week.
I have two hot takes about these.
The rogue would get shut down instantly because he just starts stealing from his customers. And then the warlock. I'm not honestly 100% sure why I put the warlock here. I think I maybe would have put the warlock like because my only logic why I might put the warlock higher is because he'd be used to like sacrificing animals. So he could just use like the sacrificial goat to just make like doner kebab. And then the barbarian, it's still customer facing, so I just think like the rage again would just like lead to like issues with the customer.
All right, two issues I have with this.
I'm homebrew off this list, Matt Mercer, is because the Bloodhunt is not official, and I'm sick of it showing up everywhere as if it is. You fucking prick. But
I have two issues. One, the rogue would definitely business would be booming. Nothing to do with the hot dog stand, but the hot dog stand would act as a front for a drug operation, similar to like a Los Pollos Hermanos type deal.
I also put wouldn't last a week because the rogue would probably end up using like poison in his hot dogs.
That's the secret sauce.
Start taking out like his assassination targets and stuff.
Yeah, well, does it like has like a dagger with poison on it? Uses to cut up some onions. And it's like, oh fuck.
And then I think a barbarian, when it comes to like just like doing like homemade meats like this, would actually fucking slap. Name a class that would be a better butcher than a fucking barbarian. You can't. And so if anyone's gonna like sling some fucking, but again, you do have he's probably not the most business savvy, doesn't know how to like run a business. But damn, if that's not a good fucking sausage.
That's so true. Like if you were to make like an eating establishment, you would just want one of all of these guys.
Yeah.
Well,
but, like,
there's some you might not want.
Nah, you want all of them.
I don't know why you'd want all. I don't really know what the logic is.
Because he's so used. Because he'd be the one who would kill the animals.
So
like he works at the abattoir.
I now regret my decision. I kind of wish I'd done mine based on what recess character there were. I don't know why I thought of that now.
Dude, we could literally do 50 fucking D&D tier lists. It's just like pick a show and then give them a class based on like give the characters a class.
I was instantly thinking of your establishment and having like a little Randall as your rogue that like went around like sabotaged other businesses for you. And like came back with reports and was like, this fits her.
I think Randall would be like it'd be like the antagonist to the recess gang. It'd be like the health inspector.
No, like in Bob's Burgers, like fucking Hugo.
Yeah.
I actually watched the Bob's Burgers movie yesterday. Weird segue.
How was it?
It's pretty good. I liked it a lot.
I love that they do the classic movie based on an animated show trope of it looks exactly the same except there's a shadow on them.
The shadow, yeah.
They give the characters a slight shadow.
Before we move, is there anything else you want to discuss on this?
No, I think I'm good. I think that's everything sorted.
Nice.
But yeah, apart from a few hot takes, this is actually one of the most agreeable.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's been very good.
Yeah, I've just been on a D&D kick lately because at the school on Fridays we have staff D&D after school. And so I just made my character for that, and I was like pretty jazzed about my character because I made a cool character. And so I was like, damn, let's do D&D.
What's your character?
So we're doing the Strixhaven campaign, which is kind of like the Hogwarts campaign. Everyone goes to like a magical school. And I wanted to be different. So instead of being a student at the school, I am a combat test training dummy who has just taken a liking to this group of initiates that we have. And so I'm always like sneaking around, hanging out, making sure that the kids are okay, defending the school. I'm lawful neutral, and like the code I follow is just the code of the school. And so like like one of the things we did was they like raced frogs. That's like one of the things you do early on in the campaign. And I was like scolding them for like doing this isn't what students should be doing, things like that. And I'm an Eldritch Knight fighter, so that way I still like have magic abilities in me. But yeah, and I'm a Warforged, and so I'm a robot, and I'm based off of Carl from Meet the Robinsons.
Nice, I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, it's a fun little character that I think
Yeah.
I've made here.
The newest character I've made is a gunslinging GIF, and I'll show you the photo that I made earlier today to send to my DM.
Oh God.
And for anyone who doesn't know, a GIF is basically a hippo
GIF.
person.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, there is now canon in D&D lore that there is like two factions of deciding like how it is pronounced of GIF and GIF.
Wow, what a fucking
Yeah.
Moto likes you, am I right?
What a fucking gamer.
Holy crap.
So yeah, that's my new character because currently I'm playing a character that's a bit antagonistic, and I've said to the DM I don't want to play that. Like I don't want to play like against the party, so I just want to like give control of that character to the DM and just bring in someone new.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel like antagonist characters within a like group dynamic can be a bit of a pain in the ass.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
sometimes it'll either just stop progression or like you'll stick to like it depends who you are. Obviously, stick to like a stupid point that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
and
that's the issue. Like we are kind of at an impasse of like my character now wants to like kill at least one member of the party, and is up on top of like a ledge, and that ledge is the only way they can go.
Well,
so it's like one of our characters is gonna die.
Yeah. I had this Pokemon tabletop game that I used to do, and I had a friend who played as an Aura Guardian. If you're semi-familiar with Pokemon, you'll know what an Aura Guardian is. Basically, Lucario, but person.
Yeah. There is one in Diamond and Pearl, isn't there? Like,
yeah, and there's a whole movie about them.
Yeah.
But he played that, but he decided that his character was just going to be like the most lawful, good human being ever. Which, like, yeah, sure, whatever. But then he would make up all, like, there was this point where there was, like, a fight going on between, like, a group of Pokemon. And he decided that, like, all the party were like, we're going to help, like, this group. And he was like, I'm just going to help the other group. I was like, okay. But then instead of fighting, they came to, like, a talk out. Like, they're like, oh, we're going to just not do anything. They resolved it peacefully, basically. But he was like, no, I don't want that resolution. So he decided to fight everyone himself. And I was like, you're going to die. And it's like, I'm just telling you, you can do this, but you're going to die. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, great, thanks. This makes this really fun.
For me, sometimes it's like, that's not quite the situation that, like,
I know it's not. It was. Do you want the actual full context? It was a fucking Oranguru that was fighting an Abra because the Oranguru came from Alola and started taking over its land, and then it didn't like that, so they had a fight. And then he was like, "Oh, well,
wow! Leave it to the UK to put colonizing in their D&D campaigns. Crazy."
It was a way to get a little one Pokemon in the region. It made sense.
Silence, colonizer.
And then he was like, "Oh well, they shouldn't be here. I'm gonna take the side, or they shouldn't. They should allow them to like live together. So I'm gonna take the side or whatever." But they came to like a neutral agreement where they were like, "Okay, you go here, don't interact," kind of thing. And it all came out really peaceful. But in his head, he was like, "No, they should live whatever they want. That's how life should be. I'm a good guy."
Yeah, that's like a common D&D thing is like my guy syndrome. It's like, well, me, Vincent, wouldn't do this, but my character would do this. So like, of course we have to. It's like at a certain point, you do have to like, for the interest of everyone having fun, just not be a fucking dick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's certain situations where it's like my character would do this. Like if your character is like a barbarian that thinks he's like the strongest thing ever, and then you see like a fight that was like intended for like your entire pie, I'm definitely the kind of player who'd be like, fuck it,
Fuck.
like fuck it, I die.
One of mine.
My
It's
character
different
would
if
go
it's
in
like
there
a
and
throwaway nothing. Like this was just a bit of like fluff. Like this
Yeah.
was just like a little bit of fun.
yeah, all my characters throw away and die.
I'll say one of the issues I had with that was like I made a character that was based off of Saul Goodman. He was a College of Shadows bard, and like one of the thing. Oh no, he wasn't Saul Goodman. He was the Spider from Game of Thrones. He was based off of Varys, and like
Okay.
one of the things I put in my character like flaws was like super self-preservationist. If I see a way to like get out, I will take it. And then we like literally basically TPK'd, except I like made death save, so I had like a chance to like get away or do anything. I was like, well, it's kind of cringe if we just like we all start over except for me. So I was like, fuck it. I guess I'll go ahead and do something that'll like end up killing me because like it's so even though that's exactly what my character would have done, it's so cringe to just like my old character with 3 new guys. I was like, well, damn, that sucks.
You're like, oh, the last guy's died. Hope it doesn't happen to you too.
I'm also like, I don't know if it's just because of the group of players that we play with. We're absolutely fine for characters to just retire.
Mm.
Like in that situation, it'd have just been like, yeah, well, my character would just go home and then be like, well, this adventure shit's not for me, and then wouldn't go to the next adventure, and then I'd just play a new character. Like in this campaign that we're doing, one of my characters like did basically his little like side quest that he was doing, and then it was like, well, he didn't really need to do the rest of the adventure that the rest of the guys are doing, so he just went back down the mountain. So and then I just picked up a new character.
The one issue with the Pokemon one we were doing is technically your character then has multiple character sheets for all the other Pokemon that you've caught. So it's like a massive investment. And if you want to like be like, oh, I want to jump back in, you would have to then make a character. Then I'd have to roll out like 6 new Pokemon or whatever because it would make no sense.
But yeah, so are you guys humans who catch Pokemon, or are you Pokemon that catch Pokemon? Oh,
No.
okay.
Mm-hmm. But in the game, you can, depends what kind of, there's like expansions for it, where you could basically be like fucking Avatar, like airbenders and shit, and use like Pokemon moves.
What the fuck? That's so weird.
But
So
like,
you can just be a human and just like walk up and beat the shit out of a Pokemon.
Just a human,
Yeah.
you just walk
What the
up and
fuck?
use, walk up
One
and
of
use
the-
bite.
one of the
Use pound.
characters, she wanted to be like a ninja because that's technically one of the classes because they're based on the classes in Pokemon.
Yeah.
So she was like, but I don't really want to use my Pokemon that much. So I was like, she wanted to use a Ditto. Ditto's really hard to use in this game. You have to basically be able to transfer all the stats really quickly to any other fucking Pokemon.
Oh god, yeah, that does sound awful for a tabletop role-playing game.
So what I said to her
Ditto's
was,
actually the druid of the Pokemon campaign.
what I said to her.
Except imagine the druid could just turn into everything he sees.
So what
Like,
she
not
did
just
instead,
totally out of everything.
what she did instead was she wore Ditto like armor.
Hate that.
But what happened was like Ditto would like be on her person, and if she got attacked, Ditto would basically like, interrupt to take the damage on her behalf.
That's so stupid. I love it.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good compromise.
Also, I like the idea of this ninja who's like trying to be all stealthy and is just bright pink with just the stupid Ditto smile and like.
Well, Ditto can transform into anything it wants, so it could literally be invisible in this game.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Pokemon, did you guys see the controversial fucking tweet that Pokemon put out?
I didn't. I saw it on the list of things here, but I am interested.
Yeah, I was just scrolling through Twitter this morning, and on the side it said that Nuzlocke was trending. I was like, well, that's a weird thing to be trending. Pokemon basically tweeted out that like they hate that people do Nuzlocks, and in their eyes, that's like just as bad as like doing like your own ROM hack because like you're completely like fundamentally changing their IP. And so like there was like a lot of tweets of like one of them was like a dude getting like shot full of arrows. It was like me when I posted the new episode of my Nuzlocke after Pokemon tweets is out, and like they're afraid that like people are like they're gonna start taking action against people who make Nuzlocke content, the same way they go after people that make ROMs.
So this
So
was
it's a
apparently
pretty-
taken a little bit out of context.
But people can play Nuzlocke without.
So this was taken.
Like, they can play that on the actual game. Like
So-
you don't need a ROM hack or an emulator to do a Nuzlocke.
This
Right,
came. This came from a interview that these 2 YouTubers did. Basically, I don't know who they are. It's just the sad reality of it.
You want to drop their names just in case anyone else might?
I know. I literally I found an interview, but I don't have their. I don't know who they are. Like I can see someone else tweeting it out.
Posted by Patters, who's like a
Yes,
Let's Player.
Right, because I know who Patters is.
Yeah, but it's basically what they're saying is that they were given the impression from Nintendo that is cringe and that it's just as bad as ROM hacking their game, and they have removed people from their like partner program. But apparently that's not true. But you know, this is Nintendo we're talking about.
Right.
So what they say
Nintendo's
is,
definitely never done anything sketch when it comes to content creation involving Nintendo games.
Yeah, someone else.
Kaiser's reply to his own tweet is very funny. It just says the Pokemon company when you don't immediately use a max revive on a fainted Pokemon. It's just Tyler 1 screaming.
The guy, do you know who Joe Merrick is?
Yeah, is he the one from Celebi?
Cerebi, yeah.
Celebi, sorry.
So
Celebi.
he replied to the tweet saying, "I actually spoke to TPCI about this. Whoever the fuck that is. The Pokemon Corporation or whatever. Yeah, about this. They confirmed to me that this is incorrect. They haven't cut out people doing Nuzlocke or anything like that. They don't care as long as you follow the confines of which is possible in the game." So I think either they spoke to some like really cringe people who don't know what a Nuzlocke is, but then I feel like it would be impossible to speak to anyone. But then I say that if they spoke to some corporate person,
I think what they're saying that they've not said correctly by saying Nuzlocke is that they think that people doing a randomizer is the same as a ROM hack.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah, essentially is because it essentially is ROM hacking it.
It is.
No one gives a shit about doing like a vanilla Nuzlocke of like Pokemon Emerald, but like if we do a randomized Nuzlocke about Pokemon Emerald, then it's like more Poggies. Who knows what could happen?
Yeah. Well, it's like, and then that does have to like change the code of the game, and so I could see
them cutting people for doing like randomized Nuzlocks or like Nuzlocks of ROM hacks and things like that.
Yeah,
Because I know like Emerald Kaizo is a really popular one right now. Pokemon Challenges, he spent a lot of time doing that. It's like they've edited it to make it like infinitely harder. Like your encounters are different. The game has better AI, so like it knows like what to do. It will like actually switch and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so like doing a Nuzlocke of that I could see Pokemon cutting people from their partner program for. But yeah, I think like you said, someone just put out a statement with not a lot of context, and people conflated that with like, oh, they're gonna take me job. I hate you, Curly.
Yeah.
Curly do it.
It doesn't matter. It was just for it was for my own pleasure.
No. Now that we're here, go ahead and pull it up on screen, Curly.
Okay. I seen this funny picture on the internet.
You just sent this in the middle of the podcast. We're talking about Pokemon. And this just pops up in the podcast channel. I'm like, what the fuck?
There's a Pokeball. There's a Pokeball. Yeah, there's a Pokeball.
Mungus?
Yeah, Mungus.
The Mungus. Anyone ever noticed Mungus kind of looks like the top of a Pokeball?
This is my dream. Me dressed up as Mungus while two lollies bow to me in worship. This is what I'll be doing if I ever go to TwitchCon.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm just looking at this like Twitter thread, and yeah, just so many people have just gone with the like just the Nintendo doesn't like Nuzlocks, and it's just like raging and like
maybe that is the case, or maybe they spoke
easy nowadays. Of course, people are gonna Nuzlocke, lol.
It's almost as if the game is designed for children, lol.
Well, like I said, I think a lot of the confusion comes with the fact that like randomization is so like interwoven with the idea of doing a Nuzlocke that people are just like, oh,
I think randomize a Nuzlocke is like so like, you know, like if someone does a Nuzlocke 9 times out of 10 you would think that they're doing like a randomizer.
I think maybe that's just they've got their wires crossed there. They've said Nuzlocke, whoever it was doesn't really know what it is because they're probably some executive that doesn't actually play the game. I just hear that word.
Yeah.
Then they go, oh, that's the one where they change the game and like you die, right? And they're like, yeah, right, that's cringe. Because in theory, if they don't like ROM hacks, you going in, randomizing every Pokemon, changing all the items, changing all the moves, changing all the abilities, is in theory the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just changing the fundamentals of the game. And then also, like, I guess there's an argument's sake of, like, if you do a Nuzlocke and you use an emulator, and as long as you don't randomize anything, there's nothing really different there in terms of, like, the video. Like, it's not showing something that can't actually happen in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas
So-
like it could be like an element of like looking like it's false advertising if you did, like if someone watched the stream that Z did where he was doing the Nuzlocke and then they played the game and they were like, well, how come I'm not seeing any legendary Pokemon here?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I can understand from a business perspective. The only other thing I can think of as to why they don't like them is purely on like a marketing thing of people say your Pokemon dies. And they've always been so adamant that Pokemon don't die.
That's true. That's fair.
That's
can
about the
understand them
only
not
other
liking
thing.
But
Yeah.
I just don't see the argument for not wanting people to like edit my games and stuff in general, because like the more people talk about your game, whether it's like an edited version or the original, is better. Like, and so like
Oh,
trying to
for sure,
limit
yeah.
how people interact and have fun with your IP, you're like literally just like capping the interaction that you could be having online.
The only
Yeah.
reason that like if it's a game that's currently on the shelves, then fair. But it's most of the time it's not. It's games that haven't been sold for like 15 fucking years, and you physically
that-
cannot buy.
Yeah, the only problem that fucking Nintendo has with like people doing ROM hacks and stuff is that the ROM hacks are better than the fucking games they put out. And people would rather download a free ROM hack that looks like one of the old games but plays like better than any of the new ones.
Yeah, even there was one I was watching the other day. I think was it a Point Crow video? It might have been Point Crow, where it was like, where let me actually look, because if I say it was actually looking such a fun fan game.
Are you talking about Twitter mutual with Donald Eric Point Crow?
No,
The
he
Pokemon game
blocked
where
it.
you were left to die on an island. Is
Yes,
one?
that I watched that,
Yeah.
and I was like, you know what? It's fire how good this game is, and I'm assuming it's like a ROM hack of like Leaf Green or something. And it like they've done
Oh,
it so when you talk to
no.
someone,
I honestly don't even know if this is a ROM hack.
it is.
No, like it looks like so much of it looks like new assets and
Yeah, but I mean, like they've put stuff in obviously, but like in theory, it's a ROM hack.
yeah.
This is
Well, I meant more to the credit of the people. It looks like it could be more than a ROM hack. Like
Oh, yeah.
they just made it.
They've made like fake mom
Oh,
and like
Gen 5. It looks like for the Pokemon.
yeah, and even
Oh,
the
and
stuff that
yeah.
it's the tiny things that they've done, like the when you talk to someone, you see their portrait with their name, and
Yeah.
it just it looks amazing. I guess if anyone's listening to this, I'd recommend watching the video. The story is very like it could never work in a Pokemon game, but like because basically actually not you aren't gonna watch it. Who cares?
I do always like that in these Pokemon ROM hacks. They always make them like adult or like
It's not
they're, like,
even the adult. I'm gonna put it on screen for a second
but not
so
like
that I can.
not like in like a like it's rude or it's like like gory or whatever. They just always make it like really like I don't know, just like something that would like be more appreciated by like young adults or adults.
Yeah. So see this, right? This is the main character. This is the person on the right is the bad person, and the person in the middle is the professor. It turns out the professor is actually the bad person, but you know what? It also turns out that you're the professor and you're the bad person from alternate timelines and from different futures. Because what happened?
Of course.
This is what I mean. It's like
Yeah.
This is BioShock Infinite. Got it.
What happened was you get blasted into a different reality because this happens infinite times over and over again. It always comes back to
Right.
this. Every time we come back to fighting between the three legendaries, and then they open up another alternate reality.
So you're saying that there's always a lighthouse. Got it.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. It was actually really fun to watch. I would recommend. Like that's not really a spoiler that makes any difference in the game, but they made up like Pokemon. They made up like fake mon that look actually half decent. And they made like regional forms for the region and stuff. Like Squirtle is literally a fucking on a cloud. Squirtle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw like Wartortle on a cloud. That was cool.
yeah. But the Brom hacker are just crazy. The stuff that people do. They're like actually, I just recommend watching Point Crow's videos. He plays all the best ones.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of ROM hacks. Like there's one where like they added like Pokemon Fusion and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was a really cool one, and it was literally like have you guys ever done like the Pokemon Fusion like thing?
You don't know about?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah,
Like the
sure.
website where it, like merges like the sprites. Like they've like imported like all of those in. So it's like I think it's just like Gen 1 or like all the ones that are on there, and then like they literally like import those. So like if you like it has like a combination Pokemon for every combination Pokemon.
Have we ever talked about Pokemon Burst?
I don't even know what that is.
I don't know what that is now.
Ready for some deep cut fucking Pokemon lore? So
I
Pokemon,
also know that there's a Pokemon ROM hack where it turns them into waifus.
so Pokemon Burst isn't a ROM hack. It's a manga. Um,
Oh, is that the one where like Arbok gets like cut in half and shit?
no, that's Adventures. That's really good. I recommend reading that. This I
Alright.
don't recommend reading. Pokemon Burst is where they introduce a new mechanic where people fuse with Pokemon.
There you go.
Like Ash Ninja.
Not like Ash Ninja. Like the main character is like fucking fuses with Zekrom and looks like the most fucking anime shit I've ever seen in my entire life.
It does look like the most out of his shit ever. Oh my god.
Yeah, like look at him.
Alright, so
Is he on though? Yo.
Frizzy body though. Yo.
so can I fuse with Lopunny?
Someone does. What about the Liepard? What do we feel about that, guys?
Ooh.
Ayo.
Oh, no.
Ayo.
It's just the baby form of Liepard. I don't want that.
All right, how many images until porn? Let's go.
I can't. It's on screen right now. Actually, it's recorded. I can. There's one mixed with fucking trash fucker.
If you get porn on your screen.
There's Druddigon. This was released in Gen fucking 5 or whatever Gen X and Y is.
You can
There's
tell it's Gen 5, yeah. Liepard, Terrakion, Virizion.
Terrakion.
Yeah, let's do it black and white.
Oh, that's the Pokemon tabletop that I found the game from. This fucking YouTube channel where the guy. This is where I found out this exists because one of the characters in it fucking fuses with a fucking Lucario.
Of
Oh my
course.
god, is that a Pansy? Holy shit.
Hey, yo, what a gamer.
Excadrill, man. Holy fuck.
These
I
are
don't
like
know how-
Mega Man villains.
I don't know how many there are. Oh wow,
Yeah,
edgy.
that's actually Curly's video right here. The Pokemon Tabletop Adventures Utopias region.
That's not mine, no. But that's the one I watched this.
That's Curly's tabletop role playing game, everyone.
Wow.
It's not.
Here's the heavens with this drill.
Who's that? Is that
Anyway,
Zero?
so it's
Ayo.
insane that Pokemon was just like, here you go, furries, live out your wildest fantasies in form of manga. Is this like an official Pokemon product, like released by the Pokemon Company?
Well, I don't know about
Actually-
Pokemon Company, but I know it's like it was an official manga.
There's also someone who like has merged with like a fucking Pansage.
Yeah,
I would
so-
merge with Pansage just for the dope little fucking thing you get on your head for the hair.
Yeah, so here's all the
Fucking dripped
official
out of
ones,
his
right?
mind.
Excadrill, Zoroa, Boldor, Caracosta, Emboar, Lolly, Beartic,
Oh,
Golurk, Excelgor. The Excelgor one actually looks kind of fire. You probably can't see this. I assume it's not zoomed in enough. All
All that got
zoom in.
bigger was the ads.
I know, bastards. Jellicent, yo. Emolga, Cofagrigus, Garbodor, Behem, Bisharp Boy,
Fucking buff.
Kleingirl, Buffalon Boy, Menshoi, Scraggy. The Scraggy one looks like a Digimon, holy fuck. Excelgor, Purloin, Throw. That's just a person. Sigil.
I
Is it?
confuse with any Pokemon I want, and then picking like fucking like Throw or Hitmonchan or something.
Yo,
Like,
Virizion Body, Terrakion, Cobalion.
So Virizion,
Zero.
Baddie, Terrakion, Daddy. Got it.
Yeah. Reshiram,
Really?
clearly the antagonist. And then just Crustle in the middle. Love that. The Samurott looks like Gliscopod.
Kind of hype.
Golurk, Zebstrika, Braviary, Hydreigon doesn't get 3 heads. Cringe.
I am
it's-
dragging these nuts.
There's so many. Garbodor twice. Reuniclus, Superior, Emboar again, Gigalith. Wow. That's a lot considering this got cancelled.
The first name mixes with Purloin.
Yeah, you don't see that. That's furry bit if you've ever seen it. But I don't know how. I like how when I looked this up, it says if you're looking for Ultra Beast, you're on the wrong page. No shit.
Yeah, because you typed in the wrong words.
Yeah, basically, I think it's
base...
that
Oh,
like
go ahead.
Pokemon gets stored in crystals and then you fucking fuse with a crystal or some crap. It's very strange.
So basically, the Pokemon Company is coming for mine and Curly's channel. So that's the end of our streaming career. Just like this is the end of the podcast.
Whoa.
Whoa!
Have
so
we ever
smooth.
transitioned to the end before?
No, what happens is we talk shit for another 20 minutes and then someone else just goes, okay, right, yeah, bye. Okay, see ya.
But it's usually like someone says something really fucking absurd, and then we're just like, all right, that's the end of the podcast. I almost did it when you had something about Pokemon before we got on to Burst. That was like, that could have been it. But I didn't want to seem like I was feeding for the end of the podcast or anything.
Okay,
But now I am feeding for the end of the podcast, so I'll just be shameless about it. I've been NoticeTheZ. Thank you guys for watching. Curly has been here as well. Lion Eagle has been here, and then the entire country of Wales, which includes Jody, has been here too. So,
Yay, bye.
Shout out to Wales.
bye. Let us know your favorite Pokemon furry fusion bait in the comments.